Hawks 70, Bulldogs 69 in their respective histories. And we're underway. Saturday night footy on Fox Footy. Everett getting it down initially. Here's McMahon charging through, wearing the long sleeve jumper, kicking towards half forward. The man Robert Walls wants to be the new Bulldog skipper. Robert Murphy will get it from Brad Johnson. Bulldogs with a positive start. Murphy long to the hot spot. Rawlings charging out. Robbins there as well. Here's Rawlings. Handball taken away by Crode, finding Bateman, and the Hawks away.
Bateman heads to the outer side. Has the lead there from Barlow, coming off game number 100 last week. Chipping up to the wing. Bateman's run on for another option. A little bit of communication problems there between him and Nick Rees. Now Bateman tries to get past Hargrave. Can't. Hawks have run themselves into pressure. Good tackle by Smith. Advantage Pike. We're moving along now, the Bulldogs. Rawlings slides through, couldn't take the mark. Going back Barker. Still a chance for the Bulldogs. Cox slipped it over to Osborne. This is Vandenberg, and he goes wider to Paccioni. Running hard for him. Here's Reeves. Now they've come down this wing. What can they do this time? Out in front of Thompson. Beautiful pass.
Just great transference there, Matty, and it was Joel Smith who ran off the line, who set up for the Hawks. Smith went to Johnson early, but Johnson's pushed onto the ball now, and that means he's running with Luke Hodge. Mitch Hahn didn't chase Smith down the ground, then Joel Smith, and if you want to do that, he will set up for the Hawks.
32 goals, 19 for the season for Thompson. For the first score of the evening, now it's gone across the face. No one there for, no tall timber there for the Bulldogs. Hodge has been pinged, free kick.
Umpires tonight, Michael Avon on screen with Michael Bozzo and Ray Chamberlain as the Bulldogs go short. Harrison in the back pocket. Was some speculation about the crowd size tonight. Smallest ever, 12,500 for the Bulldogs against Fremantle at this ground last year, but we should be able to eclipse that this evening. Eagleton, and a big audience watching on Fox Footy as well. Long kick towards Darcy, gets rid of Everett, leans over the top. Has he been paid the mark? No, it's a boundary throw-in on the outer wing. Any matchups surprising you yet, gentlemen?
Not really. I think they're midfield. Eagleton's running with Vandenberg here, but the thing with Eagleton, he doesn't really do a dead set tag if he tends to, and then runs off as soon as the Bulldogs get it, so Vandenberg's going to have to be careful there.
Brown, Williams, Mitchell and Holland, the high-powered Hawthorn bench. Perhaps surprisingly, those four to start on the bench. Darcy had it knocked away. Cox towards half-forward. Bulldogs have got some numbers. Under some pressure there, handball turned over. Barlow, Paccioni, Crode, wonderful smother by Gilby. Excellent work, good follow-up. Tumbles the kick to half-forward. Graham will get there first. Murphy is closing fast though. Oh, wonderful pick-up there by Graham. Exquisite skills, works with Clark. Back to Graham. Now the Hawks can look to clear the danger zone as Barker goes to midfield. West getting in front.
Barlow, who's been very prominent early, gives it back to Cox. Hawks share it once again out in front of Clark. Hargrave has left his man. He's going to get it. Taps it back out towards Smith. Smith got a call from Grant. Not clean. Lekas. Hands and knees. Handballs over the top. Harrison in the way. So too Crode for the Hawks. Open forward line. Thompson provides the shepherd. Lets Beaumont in to take the mark. Good work by the two tall Hawthorn forwards. And Simon Beaumont will line up from about 25 to 30 metres.
I thought Chris Grant had this match up early, but it might be Morgan who's gone to Beaumont. He's playing across half forward, so they've gone with medium-sized marking players, Hawks, with Thompson in the square.
Hasn't been accurate this season. 5 goals, 10. Really needs to make it 6, and he gets 6 points. The Hawks get the first goal for the evening.
It was a great start there. He got away from Graham, but as you say, Tony, they have gone mid-sized players up there. John Barker's picking up Bandy at centre-half back, which is a bit of a strange decision, but I think he has played there a few times in the VFL there, so that'll be interesting to see how they go there. Bandy, obviously, his first game back for the whole year, I think it is.
Yeah, the other one is too, also, Graham on Murphy. You think at ground level, Murphy would be too quick, but Graham might play off Robert Murphy and try and help the forward line against Rawlings.
Simon Beaumont with the kick. He's played in the losing team 52 of his last 61 games.
Well, he'd have to
Get to you after a while, wouldn't it?
He'd love to watch the replay of this game just to hear that, Clinton, I would think.
He's actually getting sick of that one.
Goal to the Hawks on the board first. Opening 5 minutes. The bounce back in the centre favouring Darcy, although it was intended for Eagleton. Stolen away by Pachoni. He's one of those playing for his footballing life. Barlow had it knocked away by Hargrave. Will have a boundary throw in. Seeing it over is Adam Morgan. A little bit of extra pepper on it from Nick Rees, getting the pat on the back from Tim Clark. Great chance to end a losing streak for these two clubs. The Bulldogs their last 6, Hawthorn their last 10. Who will prevail this evening? Hawks in attack. Everett and Darcy. Darcy takes it himself. Handballs towards Grant. Kick almost goes square towards the boundary line, and Barlow's happy to run it over for a throw in.
Looks like Vandenberg's trying to run with West. Clark has got Cooney, who's playing on the wing, so some very interesting matchups in midfield.
The Bulldog bench watching on. Hawthorn with 24 possessions early. The Bulldogs just 14. Short boundary throw in. Darcy leaning forward. Nice pick up by Nick Rees. High awkward kick to Mark Thompson. Lunging at it. Boundary throw in. Right forward pocket for the Hawks.
Good start this.
Angelo Alexis has taken Rowan Smith, and he's just trying to drag him way off from the station. He's playing him out of the goal square and obviously try and get rid of his run out of the back line there.
Everett with Darcy. Everett over the back. Stolen by Hodge. Beautiful handball. Sets up Vandenberg. He should finish, and he does. Peter Everett started it. Richie Vandenberg finished it. The Hawks, 2 straight goals.
Well, did he start it? Peter Everett, great tap. They've tried to set that up. It was a set play, leave the back of the pack open. And this is the problem with Scotty West. We know that he gets the ball a lot during the play. He's a prolific ball winner, but his defensive side, he had to be goal side of Vandenberg. That's the man who's got the job on Scotty West. Had to put more time into it. Great finish, though, by Vandenberg.
Terrific start for Hawthorn. And a reminder, we haven't heard from Peter Rhodes since his sacking. The first time he will speak is after the match tonight. We're staying on the air, live and exclusive for Peter Rhodes' post-match media conference here on Fox Footy. First change, Burst coming on for the Bulldogs for Morgan. And the centre clearance to be taken by Gilby. Here's McMahon with Bandy and Hahn leading wide to half forward. He goes towards Hahn. Well, it's split the 2 in the end. And John Barker playing in the back line for Hawthorn to start. Takes the mark. Playing just his 10th game for the season. Now Jonathan Hay. Also back in the side.
Clinton, I just don't like the way the Bulldogs have started. Yeah, the emotion's not up. You can see they're a bit flat. Hawthorn had the better of it early.
Bateman wide to Graham. Chipping it over the top. Joel Smith. Here's the run. Graham, though, had to wait a step. Back for Joel Smith. Trademark run. Long kick. Spider the target in front. Ball knocked down. Grant. Did well. Got it to Cooney. Here's a go. Kick though not good for Bandy. Awkward one. Cox good pick up. Loose men everywhere. Should end in a goal. Luke Hodge. Turn around. Finish it. Goes for it. Number 3. What a start for the Hawks.
Just a bad turnover there, cost the Bulldogs. They were running out of defence. All their on ball was the running down with the flight of the ball. The kick just went over the top. Hawthorn turned it around. The Western Bulldog defenders got caught out, and Hodge kicked an easy goal. Just how crucial turnovers are in today's game.
Absolutely shell-shocked now are the Western Bulldogs. We are 9 minutes into this fixture. And the skills of Luke Hodge driving it through there. 3 goals to nothing.
Superb start. Hodge with his 11th goal for the season. 36 disposals to 18. 2 out of every 3 to the Hawks.
That turnover came because Adam Cooney kicked the ball as a short pass and hit his teammate in the back of the head.
Yeah. The ricochet came through. There's infringement, and it's going to the Bulldogs from the centre square. Darcy moving it quickly. Eagleton, he's going to be caught. Gets the benefit of the doubt that he wasn't playing on. Graham holding him up well. Nathan Eagleton waiting for some options up forward. Didn't get it. Went laterally. Burst. He's away. Slips out of the Barlow tackle. Kicks it long. He wants Rawlings. He gets him. Good lead. Good mark. Osborne with his trademark, always makes them earn it.
Yeah, well, that was great work off the ball, because there was some shepherding about 30 yards off the ball before that kick was kicked into the 50, and that meant Osborne had to switch with Hay, and he was always going to give away body strength. And the good angle on the kick into their forward line. Look at that, the body strength just too strong.
So Rawlings lines up for the first score for the Bulldogs. They trail by 3 goals. Rawlings spent some time in the back half last week. He was playing in defence. 30 goals, 29 for 2004. Will he even up the ledger? He won't even score. Head of the square, big pack forming, all Hawks. Luke Hodge, a nice take.
Having just kicked the last goal, Trent Crowe's provided some dash this year. Speaking of dash, Joel Smith, as always, the run out of defence. Target is Beaumont. Kick carries him. Look at Richie Vandenberg. Run onto this. The soccer up to the 50. Burses under enormous pressure. He's crouched. He's going to win a free kick. He's lucky because Lekas was running away. Settle down, Hawk fans.
Well, big crunch. I think he had to get the free kick. It was a head-eye tackle because he was falling as he was bumped. I think it maybe a Lekas finished off. Gee, Joel Smith's a problem for the Western Border. It has to be a free kick. That could have been a lot worse, but he's a tough nut, Shane Burse.
Playing just his 3rd game for the season. Has had some injury problems. Remember that match? The eye injury was a terrible one for him early last year. Hello, this kick not intended for Daniel Bandy, but he'll claim it. Daniel Bandy, first game since round 17 of last season. A hip injury early this season, was named last week. A virus meant that he couldn't play out west in their 49-point loss to the Eagles, and kicking like a man who's had some trouble with his vision perhaps. The kick towards half forward by Graham is well done by Lindsay Gilbey. He started with some desperation. Eagleton defensive side of the broadcast wing has Brad Johnson leading to space on the boundary. Allows it to bounce. Deathwood will kick for Rawlings at full tilt. Couldn't take it. Boundary throwing.
Well, Matty, I just don't understand the Western Bulldogs. They look like a side who wants to go back, hold the ball up, where they've got enough speed in their side to just play on, show some aggression in the way that your style of play, because it's not good enough at the moment. Too stagnant.
Oh, far too stagnant. They've also brought in Bandy, so they have another tall target down long there, but they're refusing to kick it there, go short around the boundary line, and certainly not giving them any goals.
Brad Johnson finding an opening, hurried kick at goal is across the face. The Bulldogs' opening score took 12 minutes behind to the, well, usually always smiling Brad Johnson. At least he is on odds kicking around.
Campbell Brown preparing to enter the arena, or he's just perhaps trying to give off a bit of a hint. I want to play. Get me out there. I'm ready. There's been a change. It won't be him. It'll be Bateman on as Crowe runs through the centre. Long ball, Thompson. He was there. Now he's got it. Steps around. Far too easy, but it's a poor kick. And just to behind.
Well, there's that style of play. Trent Crowe through the centre corridor, belts it into the square, and they look very dangerous, and Thompson has a snap on goal. I think Brad Johnson looks like he's moved forward again, because Joel Smith was devastating running off halfback. Just got to put a lot more time now in the Brad Johnson.
3-1 to a point. Gilbey has been told to kick. He's taking his time.
Oh, he's over the
line. Over the line. It's a comedy of errors from Lindsay Gilbey.
And this is just a great opportunity for Hawthorn. This is where Everett is so dangerous with his ability to get his hand to the ball. But just the thing you mentioned before, Tony, just their enthusiasm and intensity. You think the Bulldogs, with what they've been through this week with their coach getting sacked and Robert Wall's article that they'd come out breathing fire.
Well, what's the odds of this being a rush behind? We'll have a look. Hawks desperate to keep it going. Everett does exactly that. Clark. Beaumont couldn't take it. Maybe he can. Here's Cooney with some pace. Sharing it with Harrison Eagleton. West out in front. It's a clever kick. Hard running from Smith. Needs to get it moving quickly though. A little chip over the top. Harrison has run on. Still in the centre square. Wider. Murphy clear. He's right on 50. He's going to back himself to get around. He does so. He's a beautiful finisher. Oh, good finish. The Bulldogs have got there first, and it comes for the class of Robert Murphy.
Well, the way that they set it up, I thought Rowan Smith, he was trying to play on as quick as he could, but then he just pinpointed a bloke outside the corridor, Eagleton to Murphy. And that's what I talk about aggression, taking your opponent on. I thought he was gone. His opponent on the mark, and we'll try and pick him up here. But look at Murphy here. Yeah, I'm going to have a go here. Pachoni couldn't go the speed in a desperate effort, tried to touch his feet. That is what you have to do when you've been down on luck or down on confidence.
Is he the next captain of the club?
Oh, gee, that's a big one. That is a big one. He could be, look, down the track. I just love him playing out of defence. I think that made it so hard for his development in the last 2 or 3 years that he's played across halfback and gets one of the best forwards. 22
years of age, 79 games under the belt now. The margin is 2 goals as Everett down for Mitchell on the ground. Umpire's been bowled over in all of the commotion. West handle made Darcy wait. Easy one for Clark to tackle. Big spider away. Look at him go. Can he finish it from 50? Yes, he can. No. Touched on the line, Harris. Thompson. Can he get around Brian Harris? Oh, great stuff. Thompson's pumped. So the Hawks.
Well, the Hawks just read that brilliantly. Peter Everett just a fantastic effort to get away from that clearance, but the Hawks just read Darcy's tap there, got it through, and Thompson just fighting on the line there, kept the ball alive, and a fantastic snap. And geez, the Hawks certainly do look on, Tony.
Yeah, Spider Everett, hasn't he been so important early in this game? A couple of taps over the back when he set it up in the forward line. That time he just read the ball so well, took a bounce, and he's been one of the informed players for the Hawks this year. There haven't been too many, but he's been a bright light.
Terrific finish by Thompson, who's leading from the front there. They've got 4 individual goal kickers at the moment, the Hawks. Their setup is working nicely. A real concern for Peter Wright and his match committee. 18-point margin. Gee, Darcy got up early, straight over the top of Spider. Eagleton's going nowhere. We'll have a secondary bounce. Still right in the centre circle.
I'd like to see Robert Murphy. I know he's kicked a goal, but I'd also like to see him pushing to the centre of the ground. I think he's brilliant around the packs, the way that he manoeuvres himself out of trouble.
Darcy winning that one, was heading towards Harrison. Cooney's got great pace.
Well done.
Got past Cox, and he's quick. Osborne the spoil.
Free kick.
Free kick to the Bulldogs.
That is a match-up problem now. Matty Robbins can mark above his head. I think Osborne hasn't got that ability, so he might go with him with the speed, but gee, Matty Robbins is a very good mark above his head. Free kick for over the shoulder, and there it was.
Yep. Robbins has been good in front of goal. 22 goals, 13. He'll kick. Well, as you can see from the reverse angle camera, he'll kick from about 45. And he's pulled it left. Disappointing finish from him. Just to behind. 4-1 to 1-2.
Bulldogs yet to take advantage of 6 free kicks to none in the opening term as the ball comes short for Sam Mitchell, averaging 18 possessions a game as he closes in on a 50-game milestone. Osborne to run it out. Long ball targets Bateman. Gilby, good use of the body. Subtle enough nudge. Now he's got Murphy all alone on the wing. Who's picking up Robert Murphy, they may ask now. Finds an opening, goes long down the centre corridor, looks better football, gives the forwards a chance. The bounce important, Robbins. Oh, gee, that was creative. Downward throwing.
It's Mark Graham, Clinton. He's the matchup.
Well, he hasn't got the speed to go with Murphy.
And you'd think, like I said, he'll be playing off. If you can pinpoint Robert Murphy as they have the last couple of times they've come forward, you have to go through him.
Dogs deep in attack. Everett and Darcy will be a good duel all night. Here's Robbins. Does he get a free? No. Is he pinged for holding onto it? No. We'll have a bounce.
How have you seen the ruck duel so far, Matty?
Oh, I think they haven't been too. I think Everett's been on top of this hit out. Darcy's tried to push forward on him, but the Bulldogs have turned it over and haven't been able to get it to him, and that's where Darcy will try and exploit Everett.
Umpire Chamberlain will have this bounce. Bulldogs deep in attack. Just the 1 goal in their opening 19 minutes. Everett winning it down. Here's McMahon. Eagleton look out. Has Hodge got him? Yes. Handball to space. Hahn on a collision course with a couple of Hawks. Cox. Deft little sidestep around Johnson, but the wall was set up. Here's Gilby. Every player on the ground in the Bulldogs attacking half. In fact, every player.
Darcy deep in the square.
Within 70 metres of the Bulldog goal. He goes very wide, though, and you have to wonder why he goes that wide on the boundary throw-in.
Well, at the 50 mark, Everett's now walking back because Darcy was in the square by himself. Just kick the ball to the top of the square and have faith in your marking players.
25 plays 8. Here's a chance for the Bulldogs. Darcy works his way to the front. Slaps it towards Cooney. Cooney, well caught, but he breaks the tackle. Tries to hook it round the corner. Didn't get enough on it. And in fact, that's out of bounds on the full. That's hit the behind post. It'll be a Hawthorn kick, and it'll be Osborne to kick it in.
Just thinking whether it's time for Peter Street to come on the ground to push Darcy forward to really test out the Hawk defence.
Hay now with some time, but he's making the most of it. Barlow creates an option for him. Heads towards Bateman. Gilby once again. That's a strong spoil.
Well, the Hawks now seem to be falling away across the half-forward line there. They don't seem to have a tall target to kick to. Thompson's coming out of the goal square. That's twice in a row now they've fallen down in the space of a couple of minutes.
They're making a change. Barlow's coming off and Holland is coming on. Perhaps listening to you, Matty.
Yeah.
Coach? Start a rumour. Cooney.
Yeah, he's never going to play again, he told us before the match.
Knee doesn't work. He's going to coach all 4 clubs at once. Chip over the top to Bandy.
Well, Darcy's gone forward. I'm just trying. Bandy must be in the ruck now as a mobile ruckman. He'll work Everett over.
Well, he's playing bursts. And Bandy goes back to Gilby, and again,
This is
a very crowded forward line. Big push from the back. Darcy wanted it, and he's been paid it.
There it is. This is the real test for Hawthorn now. It looks like Barker is up there, and Bandy is going into the ruck. So I would think Daniel Bandy's been told to really run Everett around. He's got enormous stamina, and look at this mark here. He did. Well, that was a small bump. That's body strength.
Yeah, that's fine. That was just it was a real demonstration of aggression there, wasn't it?
That's
he
right.
just wanted the footy.
And he might get the blood rule here.
Yeah.
If the umpire sees him, he might be able to kick this.
Well, then Mitch Hahn should take the kick because he was nearly equal deserving of the mark.
If he does, it'd be very hard because he just ran off.
I think it'd be Brad Johnson I'd be picking out.
Oh, he couldn't miss.
No, he doesn't miss. He's very good in front of goal. In fact, a lot of his teammates have been poor. He's been good. 27-11. 28-11. Now he can come off Luke. He gets the goal, and the margin is back to 11 points. A much-needed goal for the Bulldogs.
Oh, it certainly is, and it seems, although I was about to say it seems tactically going to put Darcy forward, but he's now coming off the ground with the blood rule. But definitely they are going to push him forward, try and run Everett around. You get Everett out of the ruck, forces Hawthorn to put Thompson forward, and therefore they don't get as much interest out of the middle of the ground as they do when Everett's in there.
Now Thompson's gone onto the ball. Everett must be off the ground, is he? I haven't seen it. No, he might have gone forward too.
Yeah.
So Everett and Holland have gone forward. This is the tallest forward line they've had in the game so far, Hawthorn.
And Street's come on into the ruck as Darcy comes off the blood rule.
So Street, Cross, Cooney and West are the Bulldog 4 for the centre bounces. Darcy has the eye attended to.
So I like the look of Adam Cooney early in this game. A lot of speed and smarts about his football. We know he's always had that.
Had some quality touches out west last week. 13 all up. He's near the ball here following the Street hit out. Mitchell though, the extractor, Cox, pressure, burst. On the outer wing, ball squirts out the back. Hawthorn now with numbers. Mitchell on the right under pressure. The bounce favourable for Bandy. Good tackle, Lekis. Here's Williams. Oh, he defers to Cox and put him under pressure. Have a bounce.
Take that. I don't want it.
No, that's what you do, yes. You have it. It's too much. It's too hot in the kitchen for me. Get belted by 2 blokes.
Adrian
Lovely
Cox.
haircut.
He has a creative hairstylist. Haven't seen a lot of him this year. Just his 5th game as McMahon gets onto the left. Long and direct. Better to watch. At the back there a chance if Joel Smith can't pick it up. He doesn't. Opens the door. Rawlings. Eagleton. Was he tripped up? No. Play on the call. Joel Smith able to clear. Bulldogs have numbers here. Oh, McMahon spoiled it. It's okay. Gilby for burst. Goes wide. Brad Johnson. Can he keep it in? He can. Trapped up on the boundary line. Centering ball. Eagleton. Oh, Bandy coming through. Daniel Bandy the mark. And now a shot at goal to make it a 5-point game.
Well, this is the time, I think, where you'll see the Western Bulldogs. Daniel Bandy, Nathan Thompson, who's got a little bit more, well, we could call mobility than Peter Everett, Matty, but gee, beautiful pick out by Brad Johnson there.
Oh, great pick out. And Street will take the centre bounces here, go forward. Bandy will come on ball, and as we've spoken about early on, his running ability is probably second to none for a bloke over 6'6".
They were hoping this man would be central to their plans this year. He hasn't been. He's back now, and he's kicked a goal in his return match. Welcome back, Daniel Bandy. Bulldogs have kicked 3 of the last 4, and it's game on at the Telstra Dome.
And we're just watching now, just trying to see Michael Osborne's come up. He hurt himself when he dived on that ball, and we thought Eagleton might have been tripped. And here it is, Jordan McMahon. Well, Westwood going to mark the ball. This is the setup. Burst just got his kick in to Brad Johnson. That match-up again, they don't know how to work it out with Johnson going forward. Murphy, how to get the best match-up at the moment. There's Daniel Bandy. And that's what it looks like. Eagleton either stood on his hand or kicked his hand. Unintentional.
He's receiving some attention at the moment. Daniel Bandy, first game of the year, first goal. Nice to see him back. There's Michael Osborne. So the Dogs back within a kick. 25 playing 20. West. Right over the top of him was Richie Vandenberg, and another ball up. 5 minutes remaining in this first term. 14th playing 16th. So much at stake, as Clint had mentioned earlier. The losing streak for the Hawks. They just want a win. They don't care if it's ugly, if it's pretty. Just get the points. Burst gave it over to Cooney. Spots up Eagleton nicely. Eagleton sets sail for the top of the goal square. Big punch comes from Graham. Bulldogs got some numbers here though. McMahon, too slow. Got caught. Cox, that's a clever handball on the up. Crowd always likes to kick it long. And with good vision, spots Barlow. The Bulldogs have been attacking of late, but the Hawks trying to do something about it, and they probably should, because Vandenberg is clear. He gets the Shepherd from Clark. He cuts back into the middle, kicks it long. It's a poor kick, or is it? Puts Everett under pressure. Beaumont just trying to keep the ball alive. Grant's got it, and the Bulldogs should clear. Burst can pick out one of two players on the outer side, and picks out Daniel Cross.
Bereft of options upfield, has to wait hard on West off. Eventually waits long enough for Rawlings to come from the forward zone. The lead rewarded. Harrison, Eagleton, bit of fluency about them now. Rowan Smith leading into space. Eagleton kicking long. Smith and Robbins there. Robbins drops what he'd normally take. Barker there. Here's Rowan Smith now. High kick towards the pocket. Street the tall. Tipper has got it. Now it will be a very tight angle, and I don't know about the nimble finishing skills of Peter Street. He's kicked just 8 goals in his life.
He hasn't missed though. He doesn't miss very often. He's kicked 5-1 this year. He's a good set shot for goal.
I'm giving you 50-1, Matthew. Would you like to take it?
Oh, I'll take anything at 50.
I'll have $1.
Good Lord.
Career goals 8. There you have it. He's thinking, goodness gracious me, what do I do now?
I think he's
Kick the goal, Peter.
He's fairly well talented for a tall bloke. He looks clumsy, but I think he reads the game fairly well.
It's 50s.
Each way.
Oh.
Hahn at the back, the target. Has he got it? No! Play on the call. Was he out of bounds? No. His kick is smothered. Plenty of interest here. Barker for Joel Smith. Hawks can rebound quickly on the counter punch. Mitchell out of the corner of his eye. Saw Holland on half back. Lays a hand pass off. Campbell Brown. Beaumont gets in front of a couple. Bulldogs, sheer weight of numbers, should win out. Harris is desperate.
Got to get it
Beaumont
out.
is clever. We might have a bounce on the wing. Good footy.
Oh, Beaumont did terrific well. Then he had three plays there. Once the ball hit the ground, was able to hold in and get another stoppage for them.
Was this a mark?
Well, he had hands on it.
Absolutely.
Had to be a mark. And then I think he was out of bounds anyway.
Here's Everett flicking it over the back. That's a beautiful knock to Vandenberg, who was on the move. And taking over the line once again is Cross.
The way Vandenberg slipped in there, he was getting up gingerly.
Darcy on. Bandy off.
So Darcy's had some work done to that eye, and that was Richie Vandenberg who copped a boot. Cooney. The tap actually came from Barlow, who's standing in front. Hargrave, poor kick, but it might be all right. Eagleton was there, but so was Clark. Run down. Ball still alive. Chance for the Bulldogs. Free kick to Hawthorn. It'll go back to Clark. To Jonathan Hay. To Mitchell. Hawks moving fluently now. Short pass up, though. It's a poor kick. It's a terrible kick. And what can the Bulldogs do on the turnover? Darcy. They spread wide quickly, and he wanted to go up the middle. I got the feeling he wanted to be more direct there.
Beautiful kick. Murphy's on.
Eagleton. Can he get it enough on it to get it to Murphy, who won't panic? Hay did well. Didn't give away a free kick in a situation where most players do. Now Hawthorn through Smith. Gets the screen. Nice shepherd from Mitchell, but had no one to kick to, so he goes back through the middle. Didn't panic. Lekas has it. Defensive 50. Williams has some space. Over the top, he's looking for Clark. He's now got it. 55 metres out. Thompson now on the lead. The kick's going to miss the target, but Thompson's still in front. He got around Harris before and kicked the goal. This time he gets around and passes to Beaumont, who has strong hands and takes the mark.
Well, I think that Tim Clark would be very happy to see Beaumont mark that ball, because that kick to Thompson, the one area of his game is his disposal. Couldn't hit the target when Thompson was 5 metres clear. But well done by Nathan Thompson to set up Beaumont. Probably 30 metres out, 35 metres out, nearly straight in front of goal.
And that's twice he's been able to elude Harris, so he'd be pretty confident.
He's strong.
That any balls on the ground, he's away. Beaumont kicked the first goal of the evening. Inside the last minute of the first quarter, he would dearly love to get his second and give the Hawks a bit of breathing space. It was never in doubt. It was straight through, and Beaumont has 2. The Hawks have 5. Margin back out to 11 points. And it was a bit of hard work, but they got there.
It was hard work, but Thompson looked like he's going to be dangerous all night so far. Every time they've got it down there, he's either given off the ball for a goal or he's kicked to himself. So he just looks very dangerous down there. But the Hawks haven't been able to get it deep in their forward line on enough occasions so far.
Well, you look at how the goals have been scored for Hawthorn. They've taken 3 marks. Beaumont's kicked 2, but Vandenberg and Thompson's been the crummer. Up the other end, they've got to get some small players in the Western Bulldogs forward line who can crumb at ground level, because they've kicked all their 3 goals from marks.
Down to 24 seconds remaining. Quarter number 1, Fox Footy live and exclusive at the Telstra Dome. The Ruckman miss it. Darcy caught by Everett holding the ball. Still time for a kick, a mark and a shot at goal. Everett would have to go long. Has Mitchell short. Inside of 10 seconds. Need to mark this kick. They'll get a shot at goal if they do. Thompson in front. Couldn't grab it. Close to the boundary line, quarter time. Shorey, how do you see it with the margin 11 points?
Well, I thought the Hawks really jumped the Western Bulldogs, and that was disappointing, but then the game stabilised. I think the Western Bulldogs are a dangerous forward line when they've got all those tools down there, but they need some crumbing players, Clinton.
Quarter time at the Telstra Dome. 2 goals to Beaumont, the rest singles for the Hawks, all singles for the Bulldogs. 31 plays 20 on a night that one of these 2 teams is going to get a victory.
West Coast Eagles will come to the gather with skill and aggression today. But will that be enough against Brisbane and its galaxy of stars?
He kicks a beauty.
Brisbane host the Eagles today on Fox Footy Channel. Fact, not only does the unbreakable Toyota Hilux 4x2 outsell both Ford Courier and Holden Rodeo, the range starts from $16,990 with air. Fact, the Hilux 4x4 range have been the top-selling 4x4 utes for over a decade. And the turbo diesel starts from just $29,990 with air. Toyota's all-out August. You'll get genuine Toyota value. Fact.
Chris, are you in there? Chris!
Everyone has a little A1 in them. A1 is National Geographic's new channel on the digital platform. If you love National Geographic Channel, you'll love A1.
Celebrate footy's yesteryear with classic quarters, unforgettable marks, goals and inspirational highlights from a golden era in football. 27 minutes of the best footy. Classic quarters Tuesday nights on Fox Footy Channel.
Here at the Telstra Dome, we've got Glenn Manton, boundary side. How'd you see the opening term?
Well, let me tell you, Clinton, if Donald McDonald's presence towards the ground level and then out to the huddle is anything to go by, the Hawthorn Football Club certainly can get across the line this evening. By comparison, the Western Bulldogs look quite disjointed in the way they went about their quarter-time huddle. On the injury front, Michael Osborne has received a kick to the right hand, and it doesn't look like it's anything of significance looking forward to getting back out and contributing to the team.
All right, Glenn, thanks for that. Tony Shaw and Matthew Primus in the experts' chair this evening.
Well, it looked like, I'm looking at the bench again, I thought Hawthorn got back into the game that last 10 or so when Mitchell came back on and Williams came back on, but it looks as if they're heading back to the interchange bench again, which I'm not quite sure about, but obviously there's a reason for that. But look, I think once Everett went out of the ground, that's when the Bulldogs started to get some impetus out of the middle there, and when he came back on, he created a couple of goals for him. So I think he's just crucial for them. It's just a matter of he can run out the whole game.
And just down on the Bulldogs bench, Rowan Smith is talking to the doctor, so hopefully it's not something that's going to keep you from the field all night. And he's just been told to go and run up and down the boundary line. And that'll be a big loss for the Bulldogs if he can't come back.
It would be significant. Rawlings and Jonathan Hay, former teammates, now in opposing camps, as the Bulldogs try to cut back on this 11-point deficit as we start the second term.
Underway. Everett climbing over the top, winning the knot, but Hahn was in the way for the Bulldogs. Scrambles the ball out of the centre square. Barker got a very unkind bounce. Crode crashes through, but unfortunately hits it in the wrong direction. Smith. Crode went back to help out. There's that long kick that he loves so much. Bateman's got to beat two. He won't. Hahn and Murphy. Murphy doesn't get around this time. Clark supplies the tackle. Rawlings tight against the boundary. Over the top came Crode. He started this second quarter superbly. He's everywhere. Out to the wing. Good take by Lekas, and here go the Hawks. Nick Rees out in front of Hodge, and he has a mountain of space. He can run inside 50. No one comes near him. He should finish, and he does. 2 goals to Luke Hodge, and they don't come any easier than that. Strolling inside the 450 and just finishing off.
Great confidence from the young kid too. He was running through. Boland was free 40 metres ahead of him. Could have kicked it to him, but took it upon himself, took the bounce and finished with a great goal. Just great confidence from a young player.
Tony, no one came to it.
No, well they couldn't, because they would probably think he's going to handball over the back. You have to get people to chase down and just pick your mark. He was too far out. He could have ran another 15, 20 metres there. Just great play by Trent Crode, as you said, Matty. He's been involved in the first 30 seconds or a minute of this game. There's Rowan Smith. Hopefully that's not a bad sign for the Western Bulldogs, and he'll be back on the field very shortly. Doesn't look happy, does he? He does not look happy.
A glum feeling has hovered around Whitten Oval this week as Everett wins it down from the centre bounce. Hahn going long and direct inside the 50. Graham unable to mark. Rawlings tied up by Crode. Here's Barker under pressure. Darcy wants to get on the left because he can finish on that side usually. And he's made no mistake. Quick reply for the Bulldogs. Darcy gets his second.
Well, it's an intriguing contest, isn't it, the rucks at the moment, Matty? You've got Everett, I think, who's winning some beautiful tap-outs and setting up goals, but Darcy's already taken a mark in the pack going forward, and just the interception there, just the great timing. That's why he's seen as one of the premium ruckmen in the competition.
That just shows you how important ruckmen are to the game of football.
You sure? You sure about that? Completely unbiased commentary from Fox Footy's Matthew Primus.
We agree with him when they're out there, Shorey, right?
6-1 to 4-2, the quick answering goal from Darcy.
Was that a little bloke who got the ball out to him?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Here he is in battle once again. He went early, Everett didn't. Just waited for it to come down. Ball spilling out the back, Vandenberg. Give on the up to Hodge. Around the body. Too much purchase on the kick, really. Well, still going. No free kick there. No whistle. Lekas gave it over to Rees, who in turn gives it to Cox. And another goal. What a start to this second term. 3 quick goals. 2 at the Hawthorn end, 1 at the Bulldogs end. And perhaps this huge battle, this special that Clinton talks about, it's turning into a goal fest.
Well, it's great to see goals straight to centre bounce. It seems to happen a lot here at Telstra Road. You get goals straight out of the centre bounce. We had one then. Took about 10 seconds till Luke Darcy kick one, and then straight out of the centre bounce there. And Hawthorn were able to rush it forward. So hopefully we could be in for an exciting second quarter here. High scoring one at least.
And I would say anybody with a haircut like that would want to be able to kick goals or fight well.
Much like, I reckon, Jared Schofield in your power team, Matt. Is he the king of the latest dues?
He has a new one every week.
Cost you a fortune.
Maybe it's sponsored. Everett winning it down again. Here's Cooney going the wrong way. Look out, Paccioni's got him. Harrison, Gilby, they've had all the touches. They're now at centre half back. But this is better. They've maintained possession. Brad Johnson shoveling the hand pass on. Burrs long inside the 50. Bandy one grab. Rawlings caught. Bandy again. Dumped. Hawthorn's tackling intense. Fans are saying, where has this been all season long? And we'll have a bounce as Hay says, how do you do to Mitch Hart?
And Daniel Bandy, that was a little bit of a welcome back to the big time. He just got clobbered by two players in their tackle. And there again is Rowan Smith, and looks like something either to his buttock or lower back.
Darcy and Everett. Spider getting it down. Crowd. Handball smothered by Darcy. Pachoni is tied up. Another bounce.
Luke Hodge become a problem now for the Western Bulldogs. He's just having an influence as a medium forward or a ruck rover.
Good umpiring. Umpire Avon just got in there, slammed it to the turf quickly, forced the pack to clear. Hodge sending it wide. Smith and Hahn. Hahn reading it well. Clever kick to the goal square, and then some. Oh, it's one of the goals of the year! Mitchell Hahn creating something out of seemingly nothing for the Western Bulldogs there. A two-time All-Australian Joel Smith was nearby on the boundary line. Mitch Hahn beat him to the punch. Crombie on the 50, no less. Oh, that'll be on the winners, Matty, with you tomorrow night.
Yeah, it was never in doubt. I was just following that from up in the commentary box, and as soon as he hit it, I thought that's a goal. Tremendous finish from Mitchell Hahn. Hard to top for goal of the week. Another goal in this exciting second quarter. 7-1 to 5-2. Mitchell Hahn with a perler gets the margin back to 11 points. It must be Hawthorn's turn for a goal now. 4 goals in just 3 minutes of playing time. Cooney against the pattern. Inside 50. Free kick, push. Murphy will take a shot from 45 metres out. And we know what sort of skill he has at finishing off.
Well, I tell you, I don't know about this free kick, Matty, but the way I saw it, I think Robert Murphy even pushed his head downward. That is so. You have to try and spoil the ball. And he had his arm up already, Mark Graham, and the head was sort of came across it. No one known that was a free kick.
No, not much in there. You can see by the backman's face there. He's not too happy with the umpire's decision, as they never are anyway.
So Murphy to line up. He kicked one in the first term. To line up for number 2. Directly in front. Just inside 50. It slides right, and the Hawthorn fans are happy. Murphy's missed one that he'd normally kick.
They really do hurt you, those missing, especially those quick ones straight out of the centre square. It just puts so much pressure on the opposition.
5-3 to 7-1 as Joel Smith has a few options. Chooses Chance Bateman. Had 20 touches against the D's last week. Going to Vandenberg. Eager to finish off the year well after his 6-week and forced holiday. Gee, Crow charging through, nearly collected a couple. Vandenberg's ball to half forward. Grant under some pressure here. Has he trapped that in? Yes.
I think Chris Grant, he wasn't happy either, but I think he took a dive forward. We'll have to maybe see it again later, but holding the ball, decision's right.
Thompson to beat a few in a pack. Hahn knocking it down. Beaumont sharks it, snaps a goal. His third. Well, this is one of Hawthorn's best quarters of the year. They're out by 16 points once more.
Have a look at the free kick. He's just fallen over.
No, he just took a dive, Chris Grant. That was a good decision.
Once the umpire doesn't see you make an attempt to try and get out, or you arm punching or something, they normally pay straight away. Simon Bowen's been fantastic. Bit of a mismatch down there. He's fantastic in the air, and a great snap on his non-dominant foot there.
I did coach in a game where Simon Beaumont kicked 8.5 and never touched it after half time, but the game was gone by then. He was playing at Carlton at the time at the MCG.
So it was a good coaching move then. You put someone else on him at half time?
No, I tried 4 in the first half. They still couldn't shut him down.
Hawthorn have kicked 6 goals 5 times this year in a quarter. Never 7. They're on the track for that in this term. 49 to 33. Free kick. Hawthorn going to Clark.
Everett's forward.
And Thompson provides a strong lead. He's got to beat 2. Comes from over the back. Couldn't take it. Grant at ground level. Nice searching handball to Gilby. Heads out wide to Murphy. Looks back through the middle. thinks about the switch. He's going to have to kick this a long way. And he decides against it. I think that was a smart move. That was going to come undone. The ball would have been in the air for far too long. Morgan, that's a high ball. 2-on-1, suiting Hawthorn. I don't know what happened there. Trent Crowe just went to ground. Ran into the back of his opponent. Lekas switching to the outer side. Graham. Hayes running hard for him. Graham decides to go back to Lekas. He in turn goes wider to Clark. Now Mitchell's just come on the ground. Clark has spotted him. They can set up the loose man here, Hawthorn. Mitchell over the top. Barlow. Centre wing. Plenty of players for him screaming for the ball through the middle. One of them is Trent Crowe. He'll roost it. He loves to roost it. There it goes. Brad Johnson backpedaling into the contest. Takes a very good mark. Smart play and courageous play.
But that was the third contest he had to stand there under the ball with, knowing that Thompson or someone else was coming from behind.
Johnson gets it to Burrs. Played on before sensing the presence of Beaumont. Back for Johnson. Awkward little get out of jail here. Morgan has to be precise to Rawlings. He is. Oh my goodness gracious me, Jade will want to forget that moment. Care to explain it, Tony?
Oh, look, just too easy, taking it too easy. Maybe have the eyes off the ball and thinking to go back and kick it before you mark it. That's the only explanation you could say there.
Will it cost them? No. Pachoni goes without it. Brad Johnson towards half forward. Smith colliding with Hahn, pushed into it. Takes him on. Stalking him is Mitch Hahn. Smith backed himself. He's a confident player. Mitchell. Now Adrian Cox blazing away. Bulldogs with numbers. A little bit of talk might have been better. Grant, was he caught high? No, will have a bounce. Nick Rees dragged off it by Morgan. Hawks by 16 points. Adam Cooney, the leading ball winner on the ground, has had 10 touches. The first-year player out of West Adelaide, still just 18 years of age.
Unusual not to see Scott West in that list, just 4 disposals.
Pachoni, question of accuracy. He's got it. Good goal by Lance. Hawks have kicked 4 already in this second term, and they've careered out to a 22-point lead, the biggest in the game.
And we'll see the replay coming up here. It's just a fantastic hit by Peter Everett. Knocked it 40. On ball knew where it was coming. Knocked it long and out wide. Ran onto it, and she was a lucky kick to bounce through there, Tony.
Yeah.
Just another goal from the clearance, and this quarter here, whatever side's winning the clearances, are going forward and kicking the goal.
Well, Matty, that was dumb play by Western Bulldogs players. They know that they set that up. That is a set play. Whenever you see space behind the ball, you have to get between the goal and your opponent. There was 3 Hawthorn players running onto that ball. Either undisciplined play by the Western Bulldogs midfielders or just dumb play by them.
Rowan Smith back on the ground for the Bulldogs has gone to full forward. Peter Everett is setting up goals left, right and centre. Pachoni went without it. Darcy. Handball forward. Harrison just tapped it cleverly. Johnson inside 50. Heads towards the goal square. It's off to the right. It's just behind. 4 straight goals for the Hawks. The Bulldogs have kicked 2-2 in this term.
Well, Luke Darcy, he's a lone hand at the moment. There's a couple of senior players of Western Bulldogs who need to lift their body language up, but it's play a bad kick in.
They could make a real meal of it here. Cox trying to bust out of the tackle, did enough. Hey, Mitchell, cool and calm. A kick from Graham has found its way to Osborne. Here go the Hawks again. Crowe into some space, runs through the middle of the ground, kicks long towards Thompson. Barlow at the back. Free kick at the front. Thompson will take it. Harris not happy. The umpire will not be changing his mind.
Well, Matty, we've been in this quarter a fair while now. West, Smith, Eagleton, no disposals, and Grant won for the quarter.
And West coming from the ground as we speak. There's the free kick against Brian Harris.
As I said, those senior players of the Western Bulldogs, and we said it in the match preview, they had to stand up and be counted tonight.
Thompson lining up for number 2. More importantly, lining up for number 10 for Hawthorn. He's got it. And there's a bit going on behind play. He's not happy. And it's on. It came a bit late, Tony. You expected this early, but here it is.
Oh, there's Barlow too.
Some real frustration over the last couple of weeks coming out here.
wasn't a lot in that.
This is great work by the umpires. They've just got the ball back to the middle. And they'll bounce in a minute while it's all going on.
Nothing untoward there. You used to get that in the schoolyard in primary school.
I thought she left before primary school.
Oh, come on.
He's got 2 goals anyway, and the Hawks have got 10.
We might have another glance. Nathan Thompson and Brian Harris. Here's the goal by Thompson. He knew it was going through. Little punch of the air with his fist, and Brian Harris said, "No, like that." And then Tomo said, "I don't appreciate that." And then it was a test of strength. Beaumont came in for some support. Crowd got a little edgy. And then, boys will be boys. And you know, Hawthorn and Melleys, they go together this year.
The flying flag.
Yeah, Jason Dunstall just checked the balance of the bank account at the club and yelled out, "Boys, get out of there." Crowd excited. Hawthorn out by 27 points. Vandy now contesting. Johnson tackled by Mitchell. High. Free kick count 8-5 the Bulldogs. It was 6-0 their way at one point. A couple of Bronx cheers from their supporters as it begins to balance up. Rawlings is wide. In front of Barker has a step. The handle for Eagleton has to wait. Hawthorn might win out. Graham. Clark with him. Cooney couldn't apply the tackle. Barker. Chip to Lekas attacking side of the wing. Good kick for him. Lekas wanted to run on. Hargrave held him up well.
Gee, for a senior player, Brady Rawlings finishing at times. That handball to Eagleton landed at his feet. Just had to get the ball in the middle. I think Peter Street, he has to come on the ground. I don't know why they haven't changed that mix, because that worked early for him in the first quarter.
Stretching the Hawks' tools defensively. The kick wobbly inside the 50. Clark was quick. Bulldogs numbers. Gilby for cross. Look out. The Hodge train was arriving fast. Burr slipping. Getting it wide. Brad Johnson. Good kick for Hart. Bulldogs should peel off here. Cooney's labouring down the centre corridor. Hart elects to go wide. Hargrave towards Rawlings. Nearly not quite. Harrison pops it up. One-on-one in the square. Darcy and Hay knocked down. Luke, will he swing onto the left? Running out of room. Clever Bandy goal. He's got his second. Well done, Luke Darcy.
Did I say a lone hand, Matty? He is doing it all, Luke Darcy. He's kicked goals himself, set it up. He has been beaten in the taps as we look down now, and it looks like Barlow and Rawlings is coming from the ground. But gee, he has played a lone hand.
Oh, he has, and he's also helped in the clearances. He's got a few clearances himself, pushed forward, kicked some goals, and you know, some of his midfielders can take a page out of his book. They certainly go a long way, because he has been fantastic tonight. Pachoni's just come off the ground, and Brown's come on, but Pachoni was running with West, and as you said before, Tony did a terrific job. No touches for the second quarter, and very few times West wouldn't have had a touch in the for a whole quarter.
Mandy's got 2, and he's in the ruck as we speak against Everett, and he went early. Everett's timing superb once again. It's a 21-point game. The Hawks lead, and they have a free kick. It's coming back to Chance Bateman, who heads in the Thompson direction. Over the back, Williams is on the ground. Hargrave there first. Paddles it towards the line. May need it. They're in trouble. Good pressure from the Hawks. Clark gave it over to Rees, and he has kicked a goal. Great stuff inside your forward 50. Kept the ball alive. Good pressure. Just what Donald McDonald wants to see from his small forwards.
Well, great call, Matty. That was the thing, the pressure, the tackling. A couple of Hawthorn players at ground level didn't pick the ball up first bite, and that means you haven't got enough time to handball the ball correctly. You see Hargraves has a look, and that was the pressure there. I think it was Clark early, Mitchell there. Players take their eyes off the ball. That means you're going to make a mistake with your hands, and good finish by Nick Rees.
A 6-goal quarter for Hawthorn in just 18 minutes. And still a long way to travel here in the second stanza. Fox Footy at the Telstra Dome on a Saturday night. Peter Rowe will be staying on for his first words since his sacking after the game tonight on Fox Footy. If this trend continues, could it be an announcement of some significance? Everett winning it down for Hodge. Straight out of the textbook. Long to fall forward. Oh, good mark. Waiting back burst. If he didn't mark it, Mark Williams
50.
was there, and that's 50.
And I would say Mark Williams might come from the ground after that. Hasn't had an impact. I was surprised he started on the bench. Eagleman's off, so they've taken West Eagleton.
And Brad Johnson winded on the previous passage of play, Tony. Burst going wide, McMahon. Bulldogs build quickly. Defence can become attack in a hurry in AFL. Hahn, can he conjure up another miracle? Not this time. Osborne wouldn't let him go by the boundary throwing. And Williams coming off the ground. Punishment for getting away the 50 Hollanders on. Brad Johnson still a bit proppy. From the throwing. Bulldogs in attack. Everett. Harrison getting it out. McMahon. Wonderful vision. Here's Johnson. Too far out to score. Coming up on 9 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Going to the pocket. Murphy the target. Good fist. Reeves will have a boundary throwing. Right forward pocket the Bulldogs.
Fantastic defensive action there. He's probably more of a midfielder. Reeves, but coming out of the goal square on Murphy, just a great punch. Look at the air. Punch straight over the boundary line. Make sure you kill the ball.
Unusual position for Nick Reeves, as you said, Matty. He's playing on Murphy.
Everett gets to the front. Cross came in. Here's Hahn. Through the pack, gets it to the goal square. Robbins is there, but he's got to beat three. Hodge, a little bit of time to chip it. He's missed Mitchell, he missed the target, he lets Gilby in. Gilby needs some support, gets it from Brad Johnson. Little chip over the top. Robbins with the set shot.
The hard kick. Look, I think Matthew Robbins can kick this goal. He's a beautiful kick normally. I know he didn't make the distance on the last shot, but he's going to set it up anyway and mess it up at the moment.
They have messed it up, but it's still in the hands of Johnson. Went over the top of Cooney's head to Crow, who's had a wonderful second turn. Whew. Again with a long kick. Disposal number 11, Clark.
Oh, that's got to be intentional. Oh, he was trying to hit it to his relos in the second row.
Don't know whether you saw the one Brian Harris was pinged for last week. The Bulldogs will be saying, hang on, there's no consistency.
Well, where was that trying to go?
To Brown. Brown was right there. Brown, Campbell Brown.
Okay. Might have been his dad Mel in the second row.
It could have been in the second row. Johnson, hard up against that boundary line. It's out. We'll have another throw in.
I don't know, Matty, that thing I talked about Peter Street, do you think it should be put into action now? About the 15-minute mark of the first quarter, they got a couple of goals from it because they just really stretched the Hawthorn defence.
I think Street looks better in the ruck also than Bandy, so if he's in there, at least it releases Darcy forward.
Yeah. Again, the Hawks go forward through the bit of Trent Crow. They're still in attack with Bateman. Just took his time there. Clark. Little call out the back from Bateman. It's worked well. He gets it inside 50. He wants Thompson. He won't find him. Farron Ray now on the ground. Out to the run of Darcy, who heads in the Cooney direction. Good skill shown by the big man. Adam Cooney. Coming up for disposal number 11.
Too slow.
Yeah. Hawks have got their numbers back now. He's just forced to chip it to his fellow rookie in Ray. Not much happening up forward for him though. It's very static. Not one lead provided. They just wanted him to kick to a contest. It should suit the Hawthorn defenders, one being Joel Smith. Not one lead, Tony.
No, you're right. They were very static, and it looks like Mitch Hahn's playing centre half forward. Maybe Bandy to go back there and get that street move done.
Smith wants Everett. The big man obliges. Brad Johnson's been very busy of late as Everett heads towards Vandenberg. Leckers almost got in the way. Vandenberg will kick it long. Thompson just slips. Street with a big punch. Could have marked it. Gilby gets a call from Scotty West. Run down by Chance Bateman. Superb tackle. Ball spills free. This is Harrison. West with a second opportunity. Back to Johnson in the middle.
Plays it off for McMahon. Keeps it low. No hope for Darcy with Crow getting in the way. Now out wide. Hodge letting it bounce for Mitchell. Taking his time. Kicking hurriedly to the wing. Bulldogs have got numbers back. Street. Good pickup. Brad Johnson. 6 minutes from half time. Scott West has been as invisible as Scott West can be tonight, and perhaps that kick reflective of a man down on confidence. Mitchell tied up by McMahon. Keep playing, says the umpire. Clark for Vandenberg. Don't stop till you hear the whistle. Awkward one. A good pick-up, though. Chance Bateman. Street the tackle. Clark having to go back for it. Gilby got him low. Legged him. Free kick, Hawthorn.
Well, when Jordan McMahon comes forward, you really need Darcy to play us a long kick, not on the lead. If they get him on the lead, players can go with him. They turn the ball over. You just need to bomb the ball on top of his head.
Clark going out wide. Target there is Holland, goes to ground. Brad Johnson takes the mark. Eagleton on, Cooney off for the Bulldogs. Chris Grant hasn't seen a lot of the footy today. This will just be his second kick for the night. Likes to switch it across ground. Harris on half-back. Pops it up, Murphy. Awkward one. Beaumont and Joel Smith are there. Can Beaumont keep it in? He can. She handball, little flirtatious. Cross had it knocked away. Joel Smith will take it out now. There's a good wily defender should. Boundary throwing, attacking side of the wing.
I just wonder whether Hargraves could go to centre half back and the captain has to stand up. Maybe Chris Grant to centre half forward. They need someone to kick a goal other than Luke Darcy deep.
Brad Johnson with 18 disposals prior to half-time. Graham is dragged down the line by Ray. We'll have another ball in.
The only thing with that, Matty, is Brad Johnson's getting him in the back half. You know, you need him to kick goals for you to be a penetrating sentiment. He's a loose man in defence.
Loose man in defence at the minute, just standing inside the defensive 50. Boundary throw in into the lights of Telstra Dome here on Fox Footy, Saturday Night Football. Hawthorn lead by 27 points. They kicked 6 goals straight in this quarter. Their best quarter for the season was 6 goals 4, and that was back in round 1 when they defeated Melbourne.
The reason they are playing Johnson down loose in defence is Thompson is such a dominant target there that all the Footscray players are dropping off them and trying to cut him out because the Hawks are going to him every single time.
Campbell Brown got it from Clark, and the kick is certainly deep inside the forward line. It went 10 metres further than anyone thought it would. The rush behind from Chris Grant.
Even if Ben Harrison can play on the Nick Holland, you know, just the sizing and the bloke who can run as quick as he can, but they need something up forward. That's where they're falling down, the Bulldogs.
They've worked it wide this time to Ben Harrison, to Eagleton. Now Murphy's run on here. Eagleton spots in. Murphy can goal this.
Kick a goal.
He can get to 50. Crode will come at him. Murphy runs inside 50. He hits it well. He hits it nicely. He's got his second. Hard running from Robert Murphy set that up, and just the finish the Bulldogs fans were looking for. They get the margin back to 22 points.
And it was just their skilled players were involved again. Brad Johnson running it out of defence, kicking it to Murphy. Just their 2 skilled players finished off with the goals. Bit of a push and shove here.
Apparently every time you kick a goal now there's got to be a push and shove.
And the thing about that, they didn't need forwards because they ran it through from half-back and just went over the top of their heads.
And Hawthorn have brought Pachoni back on here, goes straight back on West. West has probably racked up 5 or 6 touches while Pachoni's been sitting on the bench, so he's come back on. I dare say he'll take him after the centre square.
Just wonder whether Hawthorn now would put a man into their forward line, even if it makes it a 7-man forward line, because Brad Johnson is starting to set up from half-back. Just test him out, put a marking player down there.
Anyone seen Dermy? Just looking for a line in the sand for half-time. Hodge breaking clear. Campbell Brown in space. Thompson. Good gather from the big man. Oh, well, that's a left foot mini low flying top.
The inside out top off the left. Couldn't do it at training, but tried.
That was the stealth bomber. Johnson. Harrison on half back. Can the Bulldogs get another one and take some momentum into the break?
Free kick.
Umpire downfield calling it. It will come back to Hawthorn. It's gone against the Bulldogs. The players not aware of that at the moment.
I think it's Scotty West was fighting with Vandenberg in the middle of the ground. He's
going with Mitchell now. You see it on the screen there. Scotty West frustrated. The Hawks getting under the skin. Ball bombed long. Spider! One grab, not the second. Was just blaming it. We'll take Holland there. Brown tied up, a bounce. 45 out from the Hawthorn goal.
It was West. It was West and Mitchell were running out. West was trying to break out the wing. Mitchell kept on bumping him, not giving him any space to land to it. West got frustrated and gave over free.
Here's West now getting the quick hand pass on to Harrison, to Johnson, to Cross. Now they can break clear. Gilby down the centre corridor. He hits the talk well. The bounce important for Osborne and McMahon. McMahon's going to turn around. Gabba. Question of speed. Keep it low. Roll it home. Bulldogs back. Time on, and the Bulldogs. 2.5 minutes from half-time.
Well, you can see the Bulldogs' strategy, isn't it? Don't even worry about having a key forward. Just do it yourself from the midfield. And you've got to feel for Michael Osborne. He did the right thing, got to the front. Not a great bounce, but he had to keep the momentum or change the momentum of the ball. And when he didn't, Jordan McMahon, very talented player, but he's been a very disappointed player. Even though he's a youngster, he's had a lot of chances. Hopefully tonight he can finish off a lot better.
Well, that's very important late in this second term. The margin is back to 16. We've got 2.5 minutes remaining as Mitchell can't get past Scotty West. Lacus. The Hawks have gone forward here. Thompson's got it. Decides to go himself. Ran himself into trouble. Pachoni goes back out wide. One Vandenberg or Mitchell. Mitchell slips it over to Barlow and turn heads for Thompson. Here's a chance though. Reeves, he's already got one in this quarter. Time for Holland. Sets himself and misses. And misses wide, just sneaking in for a behind. A bit messy there.
Well, the reason it was is because Johnson's playing loose in the defence, so they couldn't find a forward to kick it to because he was just zoning off all the time, so they didn't have any confidence kicking down there. They didn't want to make it 2-on-1.
Passionate Bulldog supporters here at the Dome. Can they get another one before half-time? Make it very interesting indeed. Johnson, well, that's disposal number 21. Hargrave, long searching kick, it's a good one, and it's a clever mark. It's a cross. Kept it low, Hargrave, and that gave Cross the chance.
I think the Hawks really have to look at the Brad Johnson situation. The Western Bulldogs have just released him into the game by playing him a loose man in defence.
He's just popped it up, not sure about that option because it was all Hawthorn and Nick Holland got back in the hole and took the mark.
Someone has to bring that ball to the ground. Even a rover to go up and knock arms, that has to come down the ground. It was in the air for a long time.
Holland uses Barker, two players that have been spending some time at the Box Hill Hawks. Clark stays up the wing and the lead is provided by Nick Rees and he finds him. Bulldogs have plenty of numbers back here though. There's nowhere to go. Step backwards to Holland.
Well, the Bulldogs would like to see this happen, really. Not long on the clock, but gee, they've stabilised the last 7 minutes, and now Hawthorn are messing around with the ball. Look at that.
Context to the wing. Tim Clark's been busy in his second term. Over to Lance Pachoni. He can keep running. He's trying to draw Scotty West. He hits it low. He hits it poorly. Who's there? Who else?
Brad Johnson's had a big game. 22 possessions already. Cross.
What a quarter.
Towards the wing. There is time.
Great kick.
Eagleton can go. Needs a target to mark well off the side of the boot. Might be all right. McMahon fumbles the marking attempt. Hahn, can he get it out? 5 seconds to go. Handball to space. Oh, that's creative. Mitchell takes the mark, but the siren will sound for half-time. 11-3. Plays 8-4 at half-time. Brad Johnson with 17 touches in the second quarter to half-time has 22, and it's the Hawks by 17 points, 11-3 to 8-4.
Well, it was just a turn, and Brad Johnson's turned the game, or Peter Rhodes turned it from the coach's box to push him into the game by getting him as a loose man in defence. I think the Hawks failed by not pushing a man onto him.
Half-time at the Telstra Dome. We'll come back, talk more about it, and preview Sunday's blockbuster between Melbourne and Port next.
Tonight, the struggling Tigers take on top Cats Geelong at the MCG, where a good old-fashioned cat fight is all but guaranteed.
Oh, you reckon he's excited?
Richmond of Geelong tonight on Fox Footy Channel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, goody dad.
Premium light. Some drink it because they're responsible. What? Others just love the taste. Back on the track, where we look like greenback. Just another losing my mind. Outside in the night, outside in today. Looking back on the track, gonna do it my way.
Experience Foxtel box office only on digital. Call now to upgrade.
Catch Fox League teams every Thursday on Fox Footy.
That's what league football demands.
Fox League teams keeps you up to date with the latest in football psychology.
If we're going to be Rhodes scholars, we want to stay at school.
Brings you all the weekend's teams, tips and big hits. Oh, pow! And never fails to raise a few eyebrows.
Fraser Garrett, where will he be? Because nowhere, he doesn't like football. Astounding.
Sometimes there's only one thing you can do.
Shake your head and go, yes, Barnaby, you're right.
Fox League teams, 8:30 Thursday on Fox Footy Channel.
Shane, it must have been a tough quarter to look at from the coach's box, but Brad Johnson in particular getting on top.
Yeah, he was, but the guys have held on to their lead, and I think we've won both quarters. So, obviously the total outcome is what we're focusing on, and he's a dangerous player, so we've got to certainly watch him. But as long as they keep focused on what they have to do and hopefully win each quarter, hopefully have a win.
Now, you've had a bit of an interesting bench lineup throughout the course of the game. Is there a reason for that? Why are some certain key players spending a lot of time on the bench?
Oh, a couple are a bit sick, and we just think that we've got to rotate a few just to keep our run up for the whole duration of the match. As you know, the Bulldogs do have a lot of runs, so we're just trying to use the bench very carefully and make sure that we can finish with the Bulldogs. And
can your run get the team across the line tonight?
Well, not mine, but the teams will hopefully be right up there. No, they're going well, so just keep at it and hopefully have a win.
Thanks, Shane.
Shane Crawford with Glenn Manton. Hawks to the right of screen in the second half. The Bulldogs to the left, about to get underway, rolling still with Jonathan Hay as his shadow. 17 points to Hawthorn lead.
And the Hawks starting with Williams and starting with Mitchell, something they haven't done in the first two terms we were talking about on the bench. So interesting setup here from Donald McDonald.
And the Western Bulldogs also, Rowan Smith is starting on the bench, and also Brian Harris. So looking down to see who's playing deep defender, and it is Adam Morgan who's gone to Nathan Thompson for the Bulldogs.
First goal will be so important. It's a bad bounce for the ruckman to chase down. Darcy got it first. Everett caught. Good tackle, cross. Ball held in a bounce.
What about Adam Morgan, Matty? He played with Port Adelaide.
Yeah, he did. Look, he's a terrific competitor. He's all elbows and knees when he crashes the contest. But obviously the coach has thrown him to him and said, "Yeah, here you go for the last half. See if you can keep him down."
Bulldogs trying to force it forward. Here's Beaumont. Defers. Williams caught. Could be costly. Cooney, though, unable to put the grip on Beaumont. Eagleton does. Good tackle inside the 50. Bandy tied up. A bounce. Half forward for the Bulldogs.
Mitch Hahn at full forward for the Bulldogs. Rawlings also playing about 10 yards out, and Jordan McMahon started in the square. There's Matthew Robbins, needs to lift because I think he's a dangerous player, can kick goals very quickly.
Everett will do better with Bandy. Darcy had peeled off the contest. Everett clears it himself. Brown with Burst. Burst in the best spot, back to West. Now there's Darcy. He just stayed out there, and now he's got it. Underground pass almost. Beautiful kick to Bandy. It was an interesting move from Darcy. He just refused to go near the contest. Said, Bandy, you take it. I'm going to clear out. Stayed there and ended up getting the footy.
Well, that's smart play because, you can have 16 players as we see the setup here. And look at this for a kick. That is a worm burner, as they call it in the old days. But if you've got 16 players around the contest, you can still have 8 players beat 7. It just depends where the ball falls. So to just release one, that is smart play by Luke Darcy.
Bandy's return to the side has been a good one. First game for the season, he already has 2 goals. He's lining up for number 3. It curls back for him, and it's through. He's got 3, and as Clinton mentioned, the first goal of the second half is an important one, and the Dogs have got the last 3 goals of the match.
And Darcy will also be trying to move out of it, for instance, see if he can drag Everett out. Therefore, Bandy's playing against the backman, who doesn't know how to play in the ruck as much as an Everett would. And therefore, Everett got caught in between, didn't know which one to go for, and that's why Darcy was able to get the ball.
Shane Burst has done a good job too, playing across half-back. Sometimes his skills let him down, but he's won a lot of one-on-one contests. And we're thinking about what's happening with Brad Johnson. While the Bulldogs haven't started him as a loose man defence, we see Bandy finish there. He's playing on the wing. Angelo Lekas has got the job tagging him. I wouldn't be surprised if things turn the other way, that you'll see Brad Johnson just float into defence again.
3 to Bandy, and the 4 premiership points, the precious premiership points, are very much alive here. 11 points the difference. Good bounce. Darcy and Everett. Here's Cross. Head over the footy. Burst tackled by Brown. Leckis, good body, no. Hung on too long. Advantage play on as Cooney darts away. Good presence of mind. Long kick coming out Robbins. Robert Murphy shrugs the tackle. 2 in a minute for the Bulldogs. They're on the march. Murphy's kicked his third as well. 4 in a row for the Bulldogs, bracketing half-time.
Well, the players you need to lift if you're the Western Bulldogs. Brad Johnson, free kick. Cooney makes the most of it. They play advantage. Leckis, just arguing with the umpire, did not work on the ball. And here's that player, Matthew Robbins. I think he's got a lot of ability. And again, like the first quarter, Robert Murphy said, I'm going to take the bloke on the mark on. And he did it with a quick handball inboard from Robbins and finishes off for his third goal.
He's a muscle man now.
He's kicked, like Bandy, he's kicked 1 in each quarter. 3 goals to Murphy. A real challenge now for the Hawks. The surge by the Bulldogs just prior to half-time, and since we've recommenced, what will Hawthorn do? They were in control by 5 goals not long ago. Now it's 5 points. And here go the Bulldogs again. Cross to Eagleton. High ball. McMahon at the back. Over the top. Big leap from Crow. We have a rush behind, and we've got the margin back to 4 points.
See, Luke Darcy's doing it all at the moment. He went for the centre bounce and he tackled the Hawthorn player across halfback just to keep that ball rolling Western Bulldogs way.
Rowan Smith still getting plenty of manipulation. The lower back. Joel Smith to bring it back in for Hawthorn. He's got Trent Crow, but he takes Leckis instead. He's thinking about options, but Darcy's pretty well covering the long one for the Bulldogs. He'll have to go short or switch. Decides to go up through the middle.
Oh, great kick.
Great kick and good running from Hay. Likewise from Clark. Through the middle of the ground. Hawthorn looking for Everett. Coming through Hargrave. Did well to get in front. Unlucky not to get the mark. Pachoni, he's not going anywhere. That's holding the ball. Here go the Dogs once more. And they break quickly to Johnson. In turn, Cooney. Bandy is running hard. Cooney has to get it spot on. He doesn't. The poor kick. It's a boundary throw in.
Well, the Hawks have put Holland on the Darcy here, trying to run with him. Bandy's onto Everett. He's just going to run Everett right off his feet here. Darcy trying to push forward.
And he's gone forward now. Barker's got no. Hayes gone to Darcy.
Bulldogs have not led tonight. They're pressing here, although Mitchell clears the danger zone for the time being. The bounce favourable for Burrs. Hargrave. Likewise a kind set. Long ball, Rawlings or Hahn. At the back, Cooney couldn't put the tackle on Barker. Here's Hodge under enormous pressure. Mitchell, clever, quick hands. Clark. Oh, I thought he was lairising, but it was a pretty good handball. Clark to Hodge, running through the middle. Beautiful kick for Williams. And now a shot at goal from 40 metres out. Little angle to worry about.
See, the cream comes to the top, doesn't matter. That was just beautiful. A lot of players, when they get a bit of space, they still hurry the kick. But Luke Hodge, and good handball, very... Well, look, it was risky handball because the ball bounced, but look at this. Just hold the ball, didn't handball off, and had a lot of time. And players finish like that, you know they've got class.
And Mark Williams won't miss this. 30 goals 8 for the season, although the shotgun has been shelled. 12-3 to 10-5. Hawks back out by 10 points.
Well, he lost Gilby there. He led back to the goal square. Hodge saw him do that. Then he doubled back on him, came up the middle of the ground here. Hodge, as you said, Tony, was smart enough and quick enough to be able to hang on to the ball. He looked up here, saw him double back, and then Williams came at him. Beautiful kick. Lost, and you see there in the back man, lost Gilby completely.
And Williams 30 goals 8. Disappointing that he's taken away the flair of that shotgun. Tony, do you feel responsible as the former players who are critical of the modern young players showing a bit of flair and character?
Don't you even start that, because I remember you criticising for doing it when things were going bad, and I said, well, at least he's got something going. He's got a bit of character or personality in the game. You're
Sort it out
unbelievable.
later, you two. 10-point margin. Bulldogs go inside their forward 50 again. Mark Graham waits for it. Handball is spoiled. Hahn, that's a beautiful handball. Bandy Heads towards the goal square. Not a lot on the kick. The nudge from Hay is in the back. It will be a free kick to Jade Rawlings. Jonathan Hay. Well, he can read lips, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't need to be wide for sound, the umpire there.
No, we know what he's saying.
It's just a thing of whether the umpire, he's got to make the opinion. Did the player take a dive? Have a look at the marking contest. Well, you can't use your hands like that pushing out, and it might have been not a lot of power in it, but as soon as you outstretch your hand in front of you, the umpire's going to pay in the back, even though it didn't look like a lot of force.
Rawlings will kick the behind. That's a poor kick. The drop was all wrong. Dropped it on the outside of the boot, and that's where it hit it.
Well, he's had the yips all year, really, hasn't he? He's 31 goals, 32 goals, 39.
30-30 now.
30-30 for the year.
That's disappointing, especially when we sit here being commentators, Matty, in some of the best kicks ever played the game.
Exactly.
Well, we've got a shotgun missing at one end, and we've got a 30-30 at the other.
Crowd, look at that. That's a kick and a half towards half forward. Hargrave, good spoil. Bandy, burst, caught. Brown, got him. West, under pressure. Quick hands. Hargrave, Grant. There's Cooney running in support. Grant goes himself, keeps it low. Brad Johnson running out of room. Boundary throwing.
That is disappointing, though. As a key forward, everybody works their backside off, up the ground, and you get to a situation where you're kicking from 25 metres out, not a hard angle, you have to convert. And if you've got that problem somehow, I don't know, people have been telling them so many things and technique-wise, you're just got to find something that works for you. Don't listen to other people, just find something which is efficient.
Kicked 7 goals in round 1, hasn't missed a game, just the 23 since. Robert Wall's suggesting he should go down back in his column today. Near the boundary line, over. Possible notion?
Well, he's had shots on goal, he's had 2. Look, the one thing about the flexibility he's got that he can do it, that's fantastic to have, but yeah, that's just disappointing. He should have 2 goals on the board, only because of bad kicking he hasn't.
The Hawk bench eager to get back out there. It's an arm wrestle. It's game on. Murphy caught in a standing tackle. A momentary lull here as the clock ticks down in the third quarter. Hawthorn by 9 points, trying to end a 10-game losing run. The Bulldogs have dropped their last 6. Rare positions for both clubs. A chance to win the match. Mitchell. The scramble. Cross going nowhere. Forces it out. Hawks will run onto this first if the bounce is true. McMahon caught. Getting it out wide. Darcy. Hahn taking them on. Bullocking his way through. Going nowhere. A bounce. Deep in the heart of the attacking zone for the Bulldogs.
Well, it's not pretty football, but it is exciting because of the closeness of the scores. And you know that both these sides, they can have a time when they can kick quick goals, but gee, they can have long periods when they look pretty ugly.
Eagleton, 4th man up. Brad Johnson. Bit of creative flair coming up. No, McMahon slipped. Robbins working hard. Hahn taking them on again. Again he's brought down. Held in a bounce.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit harsh. He put his head over the ball and and he said, Mitch Hahn said, hey, protect the man going for the ball.
Just outside the 50, Everett flicking it back towards Cox or Mitchell. Mitchell gets the kick away. Thompson, right with him Morgan, also Chris Grant. Given the up was a good one. Morgan stole it from Burst, just kept it going forward. That's a clever handball from McMahon. West, back to Morgan. He can go short or longer. I thought the short option was on. Good courage from Pachoni.
A free kick.
Free kick going all the way back, and it's a Bulldog kick, so no advantage there. And Daniel Cross will take it. Chance Bateman is getting up a little bit slow, the bottom of your screen. Cross gets a call from Burst. He can just flip it over the top to McMahon. He's got to go.
Oh, well done. Oh, don't be stupid, the Western Bulldog. Great play, Jordan McMahon. I thought Cooney was going to get the free kick away, but, well, he wins a lot of respect right now in his football, in the football world, by what he just did then. You just love that, Matty, don't you, when you're a captain of a side or even any player that does this when you know you're going to get crunched.
Oh, that lifts you. It just spreads right through the team. The best thing you can do now is go back and kick this goal, put the Bulldogs in front, and away they go.
Inside 50s of 10-1 for the Bulldogs for this term as Bateman has a little bit of patchwork to be done. Deserves a goal, that courageous mark. To get the Bulldogs back within 3 points. It drifts off to the left. So Rawlings misses, and now McMahon misses, and they could be in front.
And you saw the glaring stat, 10-1 inside 50s for the quarter. They've won the term, though, by the grand total of 9 points. Kicking just 2 goals. Hawthorn, 1 entry inside 50 for a goal. Joel Smith will go to Adrian Cox in the back pocket. Everett's waiting a kick and a half downfield. Cox is going to go back to the defensive goal square. Here's Lekas. Waiting. Will go to Barlow, half-back broadcast side if he so chooses. No, goes back. They're back further from where they started. But they've maintained possession. Cox good kick to half-back. Now they'll go. Hay for Osborne. Penetrating ball. Graham doubling back. Knocked away by Hargrave. Grant, the verse. Caught! Good tackle. A bounce on the outer wing.
See, they're even struggling to just clear it from their defence now from the kick-outs, aren't they? They're trying to get the switch plays. We can see Chance Bateman there. Just split his head off. A little cut. Oh, he might whack a couple of stitches or put the Vaseline on it to stop the flow.
Margin 8 points. Hawthorn in front. Darcy. Ineffective head out there. West goes to ground. Held in. Another bounce. Crowd getting a little bit restless in this third quarter. We've been 8 minutes without a goal. West, last man up. Beginning to get involved now. Up to 11 touches. Leighton being taped up. Darcy knocking it down. How will this game split open? Good tackle. Brown on cross. Ball held in for another bounce. How do you see it, Matty?
Oh, the Bulldogs have just tightened up right around the clearances there. That's why we're seeing so much. They're tackling and harassing, and they're at the Hawks all the time. It's really improved in this third quarter.
Good support there. Cross knocking it forward. Hodge to dive on it. Trap it in. Now gets it out for Graham. It was quick hands. Clark, Mitchell. This is good. Loose men in the middle. Will it reach Rees and Brown? On the bounce, Brown. Feeding the handball, an awkward one. But still they work it forward. Vandenberg getting it to Rees. Here's Pachoni. Back to Vandenberg. Depth little kick. Clever. And Clark will have a shot at goal from 45 metres out to try and kick his third goal of the year.
Well, you have a look down the other end. Jade Rawlings. McMahon.
He's going to go short, Tony. Pocket. Good kick. Everett the mark. And this will be a goal, you would think now.
Well, I think that was, I was just going to say it was a good move in one way because he wouldn't have liked to kick a goal. Tim Clark hasn't got the best kick in the league, and I tell you, from that far out, distance might have even been a worry. But he set up Everett now, who's pretty good at converting. But gee, those costly misses from the Western Bulldogs.
Going to come back to haunt them, you would think, because Spider has put Hawthorn 14 points in front. He's got his first tonight.
Momentum always swings both ways in the game. At one stage you're going to have it going your way, another it's going to go the opposite way. But when the momentum is going your way, you do need to convert those goals and make the most of them. As we saw there, the Bulldogs probably dominated the first 10-12 minutes of this quarter here, but weren't able to put their scoreboard pressure on the Hawks. They've gone forward twice, I think, into their forward 50s, kicked a goal.
Twice for 2 goals.
And it's got them in the front. So it's just when the momentum is going your way, you just need to capitalise on it.
So psychologically, if Jordan McMahon kicks that goal, showing the courage, you would have had 15 players running to him, and it's just an emotional thing to get you on a little bit of an up. Now it just drags you back again. I just thought if the Western Bulldogs got their nose in front, that it could turn the game.
Goal number 25 for Spider Everett for the season. A timely one for the Hawks. Hahn over to Cross. In turn Burst. High ball. Bandy. Cooney. Good use of the body. Stood his ground. Read it the best. And he must kick this.
He's kicked 5 goals, 10 for the year, and 1 out of bounds tonight.
He's got to kick this.
What are you saying there, Clinton?
I'm just saying, Bulldog fans at home, don't go to the refrigerator yet for a goal.
No, he'll kick this, and that was smart. He pushed his man into the contest, didn't push him in the back, just nudged him under. And Vandenberg's coming from the ground, and he looks like he might be limping, so hopefully, again, that's not a bad sign for the Hawks.
The number 1 draft pick right now needs to kick the goal. 40 metres out, never in doubt. Never in doubt. Make that 6 goals 10, Clinton.
I like the boy.
Oh, just what the doctor ordered for the Dogs. Get some return. Gets some reward for effort. Margin is back to 8 points.
There's an old saying, ye of little faith.
That is an old saying, isn't it? Well, that's biblical.
Well, you're a grumpy old man, Tony.
Don't forget, grumpy old men. Every Wednesday at 8:30. And they have plenty of fun.
Good to see. I think Adam Cooney, he's played some reserves football this year. Was asked a lot of him early in the year. I didn't mind that. They put him back for a couple of weeks, but this wouldn't be his best game for the season. I thought his first quarter and even first quarter and a half was good. Great to see him convert there. You get a lot of confidence out of this performance.
And you get the feeling, Peter Rode, as he moves on in his coaching career elsewhere, will watch on with fondness the progress of Adam Cooney. Investing the faith in him. The margin back to 8 points. Hargrave running onto it on half back. Bullet-like hand pass. Harrison out too wide on the full. Well marked by the umpire's trainer below us. Luke Hodge has won plenty of the footy. This will be his 15th possession. How will this game unfold from here? Either way, there will be a story on Fox Footy tonight. Hodge long. Thompson in the pack. He's drawing some defensive pressure. This is Pachoni ducked. Well, he's caught holding the ball. Didn't dispose of it legally.
Jeez, that was hot there, wasn't it?
It was their prior opportunity.
Just watch it, Matty. $5,000.
McMahon.
No prior opportunity at all.
Oh, good spoil by Adrian Cox, forcing a boundary throw.
Can I just say something? That ball that went out of bounds on the full, the umpire reckoned the centre corridor to move Luke Hodge around 1/2 a foot. Do you think we can get around that? That they stay in the corridor, don't waste their energy so they can concentrate on the next contest?
A bit pedantic. In the meantime, they've stopped the clock. Let it all run. Thompson. Good handball. Barlow to Clark. Set up the last goal. Goes to the pocket. Nearly not quite for Everett. Gilby, good pressure. Morgan flips it on for Johnson. Underground handball. Clever for Gilby. Look out, Baron Ray. You're about to be caught. Hot footy to win now. Clark. Rees. Barlow. Clark does well. Kicks to space. Bounce awkward. Is that a free kick? Yes.
Well played by Scotty West. He knew he was under the pump. That's what you call football awareness, because he knew he was going to be tackled if he took the ball.
Oh, good kick too. Chris Grant. Now they'll flood the outer side. There's some space out there. This is Cross. He's away. Long lead. Rawlings helped underneath it by Hay. No whistle this time. Close to the boundary line. It's over for a throw-in with Hawthorn. 8 points to the good. Less than 7 minutes from three-quarter time.
Big third term from Daniel Cross, up to 19 disposals. Brad Johnson on top of the rankings. Good to see Tim Clark on that list. Notching up a century.
For now.
Oh, Osborne's in trouble. Just got it out. West got a call. Somehow Ray's got it, and he just slides it sideways to Jade Rawlings.
Now, Jade, go back. Don't think about it too much, and just meld it into the goal square. Go for goal, and hopefully it'll travel a bit further. Have a look at looking around. Got to take responsibility on it. He's not going to pass the ball off. Just go back and have a dip.
Their next coach should be Anthony Robbins. It's all mental, isn't it?
Rawlings from outside 50. Important kick. Looks pretty good off the boot, but he's got underneath it. It won't make the distance. It's still alive. Osborne, confidently, no rush behind. What can the Bulldogs do? Can they keep the pressure on? So far they have, but Smith, that's a very clever kick. Just a relieving kick to Mark Graham. 73 plays 81. The Bulldogs have won the quarter, but they haven't headed Hawthorn at any stage in the match. Ray needs a good bounce, gets it. Back to Grant, looping over the top to Cross. That's disposal 11 for the quarter, and it's a beauty. Oh, Mitch Hahn dropped it. Trent Crowe to Graham. Searching kick to the run of Thompson. Here comes McMahon. He's got pace, but Thompson's got some support. The kick is a good one from Pachoni to Brown. Brown's too far out to kick the goal.
Everett against Harris in the square. Now Street's got back there.
He should have gone earlier.
Yeah.
He goes back to Pachoni, who's inside the centre square.
They're changing the angles.
They're not sure where to go here, but it's with Hodge. Still 60 metres out from the Hawks' goal. Hodge has kicked 2. We're down to 5 minutes remaining in the third term. Oh, that is a beautiful hit. Well, I guess, Tony, it was a situation, they mucked around with a bit, but you like to have the ball in someone like Luke Hodges' hands because he's going to hit the target.
Well, that was the only benefit because I looked behind play and the Western Bulldogs had about 12 players, or got 12 players back, but when you've got a player of this class, look at that. You know, a lot of players just could not set that ball up well enough with enough angle and enough elevation to get to their teammate. That's what I said, he's a class act.
John Barker's kicked 2 goals for 2004. Will he make it 3? He will. It's going to hold its line. And it does. The Hawks, once again, give themselves a bit of breathing space over the Dogs.
Oh, well, it's just definitely a great kick from Hawthorn. Hawthorn was smart. The Hawthorn forwards were smart. They were able to keep that left side of the field open, knowing that Hodge was a left footer there. Barker saw the space, led into it. As you see here on the replay here, plenty of space off to the left-hand side. Hodge just a beautiful kick, and the defender had no chance there to stop that kick coming in.
Well, the Hawks have had more options, 10 goal kickers to 6, so you can see that they've spread it around. That's with Bandy kicking 3 for the Western Bulldogs, and Murphy kicking 2, and Darcy kicking 2. So they've had a lot more options, the Hawks side.
If you could coach either team next year, Tony, which would you pick?
Oh, gee, they're very close. I think Hawthorn, if they had everybody up and running and fit like a Crawford, you know, they could be very competitive for a long period of time.
Clark tied up, a second bounce in the centre square. Chance Bateman ready to re-enter the fray.
But I think the Western Bulldogs, Clinton, have got a lot of talent also. It's just how you straighten up their game plan.
Darcy knocking it in front of McMahon. Good hit out. Cross has had 10 touches this term. The 11th, the handball for McMahon. Steadies. Eagleton is short. Still too far out to score, but they've maintained possession. Now, Street leading to the pocket. Rawlings coming to him short. Eagleton, the eyes darting this way, that away. Penetrating kick to a 1-on-2, though. Murphy's got a couple to beat. And that was always going to be unlikely. And now Barker will rebound to our broadcast side where Crode, Barlow, Piccioni and now Gavin. Crode. Well, he runs a little far and under pressure and has to kick haphazardly forward. The wall was set up. Chris Grant's got it. The Bulldogs skipping us, squares it up. Robbins, Brad Johnson, back to Robbins. Goes short. Hargrave in front of Barlow. Little risky on the kick. Hargrave, good mark. Bulldogs have won the term by 3 points, but they've had far more of the football. Darcy fending off Crow. He's away. Eagleton to run onto this. Can he bang it forward quickly? Give the forwards a chance. Top of the goal square. Oh, what a good mark coming out. Michael Osborne and plays on.
And moves it quickly to Joel Smith, who loves to run with the football. He can go long and wide if he can get it there, because there's a man standing on his own, and that's Piccioni. Reeves spent a bit of time on the bench. He's got fresh legs. Too far for Williams. The Dogs should clean up. Oh, Thompson gets a good bounce. Flicked it back to the corridor. There was no one there for Hawthorn. Burst on the up. West on the overlap is Ray to Big Peter Street. Johnson. Oh, that's clever. That's great vision from Johnson because he was running into the hole. Cross. In the back. He gets a free kick and he's very lucky.
Very lucky. Robert Murphy was on with a short pass. He thought he might sell the dummy. And very lucky that he'd get that free kick, but it had to be there.
Yep, it was there. Been a great third service, we mentioned a couple of times from him. Now, Eagleton's within range. He is a very good kick. He is a thumping left foot kick.
Well, Matty, you should know how good a kick he is.
And he is a great field kick. I don't know how good a shots and goal have been this year.
Are you saying that he can't get it? I'm saying he'll bang it through. There you go.
I think he'll try and kick the hell out of it and push it out a little bit.
13-13 coming into this match. Send it home, Nathan. You little beauty. No wonder he left Port Adelaide. None of his teammates had any confidence in him.
Lack of faith.
His captain says he can't kick. He's become a very important player for the Dogs. Importantly for them, though, Brad Johnson coming off. I think he's just tired. Mitchell Hunt comes back on. Important timing of the goal too. They get back to that 8-point margin. What a super finish it was.
Well, we said this game, and before the game I said, gee, this will be a tight, interesting match, and it has turned out that way. I think the Hawks at the moment, they're the ones who are wasting opportunities with some poor foot skills at times. The only person who stands out is Luke Hodge. But how they work the benches the next 5 or 6 minutes is so important, because I think some of the senior players need a spell. so that they come back and have a major impact going into three-quarter time.
Live, exclusive and commercial free on Fox Footy as Street and Everett contest. West, was he caught high? No. Spider gets the clearance for Hawthorn. Hargrave pushed out of it by Rees. A bounce centre half forward the Hawks.
Well, Hart's come on there for Johnson, and he's tried to play the loose man, but Smith has no set for the back line, taking him straight back to the goal square, so now the Bulldogs won't have a loose man. We'll see how long that goes on for.
The final days of Peter Rhodes' coaching career at the Bulldogs. He will see out the remainder of the year if he so chooses. Street, Harrison, Ray, quick hands, bursts under pressure from Bateman. Hodge going through, West upended. Another hot footy to win here. Ray couldn't get the lunging Bateman. Now Campbell Brown kicks to the pocket. Smith hard in front, good spoil near the boundary line. Cross diving in on it. In fact, Harris high on the call. Joel Smith. Rees hemmed in on the boundary. Mitchell hurried kick forward. Fake was already out. No, Hawthorn free kick. Rees being held on to. Still time. He's too far out to score. Bulldogs have got to flood back and man up. Now Rees will go backwards to maintain possession.
Trouble.
Hodge is dangerous. He is lethal with the boot. Down to 30 seconds to go. One more goal will be vital. Here he is. The schemer's seen something. Long to the hot spot. At the back. Campbell Brown! Goal! With just seconds to go. Oh, what a big goal there. The benefits of a long kick to the hot spot. And a crummer at the back, the margin 14 points.
Well, 11 goal kickers now. Campbell Brown, the long kick. And again, it was Luke Hodge's penetration with the kick. Didn't set it up with just a beautiful pass on that occasion. And Campbell Brown, pretty happy about that. He loves to kick a goal. It gives him a bit of aggression in this side. And started the game on the bench. And Shane Burst got the job on Campbell Brown.
The Hawks have kicked 15 goals. This is only the second time this season that they've done that. They kicked 17 in round one. They won that day. The chat from the coach to Richie Vandenberg just prior to three-quarter time. What does he reckon? He reckons they would need another goal. They've got 8 seconds to do so. Harris clears it well. Will it find the boundary line? It does.
Well, that was very interesting. Asking Richie Vandenberg, out of a lot of respect, I would think, for his abilities, where do you think you can handle it? In the defence, forward, or midfield? And he might be able to push off halfback. That was very interesting from a coach.
Three-quarter time, siren sounds. The Dogs charge to the Hawks, but they've settled. Let's go to Glenn Manton.
Yes, we just heard from the coach there, Donald McDonald, talking with Richard Vandenberg. It appears that Vandenberg does have some sort of hamstring injury, and the coach there, Donald McDonald, questioning him as to where he feels he can best contribute to the team going into this final quarter.
What do you think, Glenn? Who's going to win it?
Look, I think the Hawks certainly have the poise to take the game away. Having said that, the Western Bulldogs are certainly playing for much more than the win-loss at the end of the day today.
Well, the Bulldogs kicked 4 goals, 3 in that third term. The Hawks kicked 4 straight. 1 quarter remains. 1 agonising quarter waiting for the supporters of these two clubs. It's the Hawks by 14 points. Stay with us.
Take control of the way you watch the game. Go active.
Coming up at 8:30 Eastern, Foxtel and Austar digital subscribers can see this week's fully interactive Fox Footy Active game replay. Simply press red on your digital remote when the red icon appears on your screen and you'll go active.
It's AFL like you've never seen before.
You choose the camera angles, audio feeds, highlights and game stats.
And this amazing technology is available now.
It's just another fantastic innovation and all part of the digital revolution right here on Fox Footy Channel.
Premium light. Some drink it because they're responsible.
What?
Others just love the taste.
AFL players away from footy? Who better to ask than those who live with them?
What do I think is your most irritating habit? How do you spell Louis Vuitton?
It's the players like you've never seen them before. Living with Footballers, Thursdays on Fox Footy Channel.
Well, I think you've got to stick with the Hawks. That goal just before half-time by Campbell Brown really hurt. But if the quality of how they had the ball and enough of the ball in the inside 50s, Western Bulldogs would have a big say in this last quarter. Their conversion was very ordinary in that third quarter.
The game is crying out for a hero. Final term underway.
And it's just the start the Bulldogs were looking for. Don't discount the draw yet, Clinton, either. Anything can happen. Osman in the way for the Hawks. Just head straight for the boundary. He will get the benefit of the doubt. It'll be a ball in.
Should say they did play 2 drawn matches in the 1990s. 96 at the Whitten Oval. And then 99 at Optus, as Rowan Smith won't play again with Street, Ray and Morgan on the bench.
That game at Optus was a fabulous game.
Okay.
I remember that one. Bandy. Wanted Robbins. Robbins just, don't argue with Bateman. Clever hands. Ends up with Cooney. Will he finish it off? Oh, he does. He's got 2. The Bulldogs draw first blood in the final term. They get it back to that 8-point margin. Now the challenge for them, Matty, is to get the next one.
Well, they obviously do need to get the next one. But just being impressed by Cooney tonight. He's played a fair bit in the midfield. He's gone forward, kicked a couple of goals. And for a young player to play in the midfield, obviously the predicament the Bulldogs are in, they're not going to make the final, so they're just going to allow him to play. That's only going to help his footy in the years to come.
Wonderful finish. He's excited, and why not? The margin, 8 points. They closed it within 4 in the third quarter. What price the next goal? Darcy and Everett again. It only took 39 seconds off the clock. Good bounce. Everett goes early, palms it down in front of Paccioni. And Brad Johnson there as well. Harrison can't control it. Paccioni does well. Here's Spider. Chip kick. Mark Williams got it. Clever from Everett. Looked like he was going to kick through the ball and go long. And then just laid back on the kick. Saw Mark Williams coming. And now he's got a chance for his second.
Well, Clinton, I want to go back to centre bounce because Luke Darcy didn't make contact. If you're a couple of goals or 5 goals up, I think you can try and do that and let the ball bounce. But when you're trying to get back in the game, you need a contest. And then Everett comes out to the side. I don't know. I think Luke Darcy's got to look at the times that he does that ploy in the ruck.
Mark Williams is the accurate one. He's got 2 tonight. The Hawks right off the early Cooney goal with Williams second, as we were at 3/4 time. Look at that straight shooting, 16 goals 3.
Well, Matty, what do you think about that? You know, if you're 5 goals up, this is Luke Darcy here. Look, no tap, he gets an easy hand, they're running forward, they get the momentum going. I think you have to make a contest there when you're down.
Oh, good. Coaches always want you to make the contest. In the first bounce of the last quarter, Darcy jumped in and Bulldogs got a goal straight out of it. This one here he didn't. The Hawks was all out. But they look a lot more dangerous with Williams coming out of the goal square there.
2 goals to Mark Williams, and once again the Hawks get the answering goal to keep the Bulldogs at bay. 29 goals 10 tonight. Been excellent from both teams in front of goal. A couple of misses by the Bulldogs, but they should have kicked.
Looks like Brett Johnson now starting across half-back. I wouldn't say a loose man in the fence, but I think he'll push forward very hard. Angelo Lickers has got the job on him.
Everett winning the tap, but it's all Bulldogs here. West give over to McMahon, and that's a clever kick from McMahon to Darcy, running hard. Eagleton, promising build up by the Dogs. High ball, needs a mark. Hahn has to beat 2. The spoil comes. Smith will see it over the line as to Osborne. And we've Barlow's got a ball in.
You got Rowan Smith on the bench, who Clinton was right. You wouldn't think you see again. But Morgan's also off. Looks like he's done a hamstring and he's got it strapped. So I wouldn't think you'll be seeing Morgan a key position defender. That could be very useful in the last quarter.
Chance here for the Dogs. It's tight. It's a good give. Johnson got it from Robbins. Johnson misses. Does he score? He does. Just to behind. 13 points is the difference. So some good handballing from Robbins inside that 450. Some quick gives. And Luke Hodge comes from the ground.
Gee, big move, Luke Hodge.
Barlow to come on. 13-8. And Clinton well over that 12,000 crowd. We've got 22,330 here.
Smallest for a match between these two in 5 years, but nonetheless pretty good given the circumstances as Piccioni goes for Mitchell, who marks on half-back.
Can someone tell me why Luke Hodge would be off the ground? Well, you've just had three-quarter time and you've had a rest for how many minutes? Is it 5 minutes or something?
Yep.
Why would you be off 4 minutes in the last quarter? And he looks all right. He's just walking around the boundary line.
Mitchell to Everett. We're not even going to attempt to answer that, Tony. Bateman cleaned up by his teammate. Holland has the mark. And some concerns.
Well, if you're tired in the 10-minute mark or the 15-minute mark, you can see the common sense of that. But I cannot see it when you just come up with a three-quarter time break.
You're in favour of player rotation?
Sorry, mate.
Well, clearly you're not.
No, I am. I can't.
Look, I am. We don't know whether he does have an injury problem. We're trying to ease him through the game, but he's certainly a crucial player for him to win tonight.
Bateman long to Thompson, over the top Barlow. Harris the spoil. Barlow, good pick-up. If the Hawks get the next one, it'll make it hard for the Doggies. Long ball to the hot spot. They've got some small crummers back there. If it hits the deck, it does. Piccioni the tackle. Near the boundary line. Can Thompson keep it in? Yes. Clark is there. He's tied up. Good tackle, a bounce. 2 metres out from the line.
And this is where the Hawks can be pretty difficult to hold here, especially with Everett running down there. He wasn't going to take this ball up, but he's running down there now, and wouldn't be surprised if they get a score out of this.
Here he goes against Darcy. Darcy concedes.
They did get a score, please.
Jonathan Hayes just came from the ground also for the Hawks. John Barker's gone back into defence.
2 of the 4 Hawthorn behinds have been rushed, so 16-2 off their boot. Let's check in with Glenn.
I think the Hawthorn coaching staff have made a very conceited move and concerned move to rotate the bench this evening and make sure they rotate them every 5 to 10 minutes. So I wouldn't be surprised if the rotations continued deep into this last quarter.
Well, we heard from Shane Crawford, didn't we, about they were very concerned about that and they wanted to keep some fresh legs and match the Bulldogs' run. Tony Shaw doesn't agree. He wants Luke Hodge out there. Nathan Eagleton doesn't care what we think. He's going to bang it forward and the Dogs are going to get a goal. Robbins, standing on his own, runs into the open goal and kicks it.
And I'll blame the rotation for that because John Hay came from the ground. John Barker was 30 metres in front of that man then, Matthew Robbins, and there's your rotation. But look, it's not about rotation. 4 minutes into the last quarter, you just had 5 minutes break at three-quarter time. Luke Hodge, you've got to be joking with me. If he's 10-minute mark, yeah, because he's a class out. Look at this. They kicked the ball down, and have a look at John Barker, who just came off. That is just messed up. They are just confused with what happened off the bench and hadn't got their matchups right.
And that's why Tony Shaw was rung this week in regards to pointing a coach at a certain club. Seeking his advice, he turned them down. 16-4 to 14-8. We've got him on Fox Footy and he's staying here. Hawthorn by 8 points. Darcy knocking it down. Cox slips one tackle. Ball not clear. Crow getting away. Target Piccioni. Clever handball to space. Clark running onto it. McMahon's got to tackle him. The handball back for Mitchell. Hawthorn away. Good vision. Bateman the mark. Can play on or chip it over the top. He goes for the chip. It's a good kick. And now Barlow.
It's an inspired move to get Barlow on the ground to get Hodge off. He's going to kick a goal.
And you think that wouldn't be Luke Hodge if he was in the same position? Good play by Bateman, though, just to keep his cool.
Chris Barlow has not kicked a goal this year. This is his 6th game. His team's kicked straight tonight. 16-2 off the boot and 2 rush behind. You reckon the pressure's on him to kick straight? He does. 17-4 now. They keep the Bulldogs at arm's length. The margin, 14 points.
The Hawks midfielders just pushed so hard out of that clearance there. The Bulldogs by the time Chance Bateman got and chipped it over to Barlow there was about 3 Western Bulldogs midfielders still standing in the middle of the ground. Their Hawthorn opponents had run down, and that was the difference here. And maybe the reason they're able to run so hard, Tony, because they've been rotating well on ice.
Well done, Matty. Picked that up well.
Goal for goal here at the Telstra Dome. Every time the Bulldogs get to it at 8 points, the Hawks kick the answering goal to get it back to what it is now, that 14-point barrier. They seem to have the answers, but there's still 15 minutes remaining. Bandy flipped it over the top and gets it back. Wanted cross, but it was cut off by Barker. Piccioni. Here's Eagleton. 60 metres out from goal. High ball. Darcy coming. Also, the big spoil came from Osborne. Here's Cox. He shepherds to let Smith through. He doesn't get far. We've got a ball up. Yes, we have. 25 metres out from the Western Bulldogs goal.
Well, other than the first 10 minutes of the first quarter, I thought there was a lack of emotion and effort from the Western Bulldogs. I think both sides, one thing about they have had a hot go tonight.
Yep. Chance for Darcy. He wanted cross. Eagleton went past it. Graham. The clearing kick only as far as Bandy. Play on. West. Back to Gilby. They're going backwards, but they still have possession. Harrison loads it up. 2-on-1. Somehow it gets past everybody, and Lekas has it. The relieving kick is a good one. It's a beautiful kick to Barlow.
In between a couple of Bulldogs, an important mark for Barlow. Plays on quickly. The patched up Bateman. Wide for Barker. Has to wait. Look out, Grant. Crunched him. Ball spills to Rawlings. McMahon. Hahn. Now the Bulldogs can go. Hahn. Long thumping kick. Darcy or Brad Johnson. Darcy cleaned up the Hawk defender. Oh, good defensive pressure, Osborne. And Braden, it should be deliberate.
It is.
Free kick, Bulldogs. If you don't get it through from behind, it is deliberate. Robbins should have been making space quickly here because it's a tight angle as a pensive Shane Crawford, John Hook, Donald McDonald and others watch on. What will Matthew Robbins do here?
Well, hopefully they've got a set play here that they can organise to try and get a pass inside, or he has to check side.
He's going to go for it. No. Narrow. McMahon off. Ray on for the Bulldogs. Some costly misses tonight. By and large, a relatively accurate night for the Bulldogs. It's been much debated there. Misses in front of goal across the course of the last couple of seasons. But when the Hawks are so accurate, you tend to notice the misses. The margin, 13 points.
Piccioni takes the kick in as Brown and Hay both ready to rotate back onto the ground, Tony. This is Mark Graham. It's a 13-point margin. Graham heads in the Everett direction. Doesn't get a good bounce. Bulldogs with numbers. The pick up from Eagleton. Stops, waits, then kicks it long, but it's Hawthorn with all the people back there, and Mark Graham takes the easiest of marks. And he's away now. The handball to Smith. Running hard. He can go over the top to Vandenberg. Wonderful kick from Joel Smith. Vandenberg can play on. He backs himself. He's inside 50. He kicks. He goes. The Hawks are on top here at the Telstra Dome. They lead by 19 points. Vandenberg's got 2. And it doesn't get any quicker to come out of one half to the other.
Well, lucky the coach asked him if he was feeling all right, because he obviously said yes.
I'll go to half forward.
He ran 15 metres there pretty hard and drew it right through the middle. But once again, another great option there. He could have chipped it over the top, had the confidence in his own ability, and finished with a terrific goal. And every time the Hawks are going forward, they're kicking their goals, and at the other end, the Bulldogs are missing it. That's the difference.
Well, they've got 2 players who can kick the ball for the Hawks who I think have been outstanding. Luke Hodge and Joel Smith. If you've got 2 players like that coming from either half-back in the midfield, you know you're going to set up some quality goals.
That kick was as good as it gets. The task for the Bulldogs grows significantly. West, Bandy, Hargrave, chain of hand passes. Can they reply quickly? Robbins in front. Couldn't bring it down. Murphy hurries a kick across face. Will it land in the field of play? It does. Boundary throw in. Clock stopped at 11:42 to go. Hawthorn trying to avoid losing 11 straight matches for the first time since 1950. Again, the Bulldogs with the numbers going their way in this final term, just lacking the finishing polish. Brad Johnson, third man up. Cross getting it out. Luke Darcy. Hurried left foot kick. Is narrow. The margin. 3 straight kicks.
Just talking to Matty off air at three-quarter time, the thing about what he said, maybe Peter Rowe would have won 4 or 5 more goals at their conversion to be a lot better in games early in the first half of the season.
Yep. Smith goes short. Everett in the back pocket takes the mark. Down to 11 and a half minutes to go. 3 straight kicks the difference.
Spider. Barker breaks for him, but he's decided just to settle things down. Oh, he's called the play on. Run down by Murphy. Cooney, back to Murphy. He stumbles. He rumbles it forward towards Robbins. Well done, Osmond. How did that happen? I'm not sure. Smith to Paccioni. Spider still can't believe what happened. Hawthorn will run it out of trouble though. Paccioni short through the middle. Half volley. Off one step. Magnificent pass from Barlow. Brown runs himself into a space. Kicks it long. Williams, he's one-on-one. He doesn't mind these situations. He'll beat Burst. He can't beat Grant. Oh, good tackle, Burst.
Great contest.
Second effort was terrific. Spider, what happened? Let's have a look.
Well, he was called to play on. The umpire said he went off the line.
He didn't go off the line. Too long, and perhaps he was called, you've had it too long, just go. Here's Vandenberg. Knocked forward by Ray. Vandenberg did now. Did he cleverly back that onto the boot? No. Boundary umpire saying it's a throw-in. Rawlings comes from the ground. Luke Hodge swaps for Sam Mitchell. 14-10 to 18-4.
Oh.
Boundary umpire might have got that wrong.
Should have 4 of them.
Make it 8.
He was close enough then. He just made the wrong decision.
There's no depth in the ranks, Tony.
Beaumont has kicked 3. It's going to go across the face, going back. Chris Grant could have marked it, but took the safe option, Clinton.
He did.
And another rush behind.
3 of the 5 Hawthorn behinds have been rushed. 19 points the difference.
And that is a big point because it means you've got to have 4 shots on goal now to win the game. Instead of the 3 if he had marked the ball and kept it in play.
Hence, a little bit of surprise that he didn't mark it. Good kick in, Gilby to Harrison. Short for Hargrave. Who will see this match out? The Hawks were concerned about the Bulldogs finishing fitness. Although they were in Perth last week, Darcy, good mark. This is better. Kicks quickly to centre half forward. Going early, Graham over Hahn, knocking it down. Murphy kept his feet. Hahn with the pickup. Numbers running forward. Farron Ray, time to show your stuff perhaps. Hurried kick to the forward pocket. Will the Hawks concede behind? Oh, they do. Just as Cooney was closing in on the scene.
Thought the umpire was going to play him throw there. He brought the whistle up to the mouth, but he let it go.
The fist clenched just enough by Jonathan Hay. The margin back to 3. Straight kicks the difference. Lecker short for Barker. Now the next option might be short for Reeves. Here it is. He hangs onto it. Reeves just on for Lance Paccioni. Paccioni, the leading ball winner for Hawthorn with 23 touches.
Isn't it amazing when the pace goes up the game and players are tired, how easy you can get it out of defence? They struggled in the third quarter doing this.
Joel Smith, little back pedal was nice. Crowd, back to Smith. Still searching for an option. Murphy with a wonderful tackle. Ray, here they can go now hard. Daniel Bandy. Is he going to get around him? High kick towards the goal square. And the Hawks are back there. Oh, Osborne didn't get a hand on it. Now he does. And concedes a behind. Oh, these two teams, are they falling back to familiar traits as the tired legs unfold?
You're not trying to say that they're trying to lose it or one side or win it.
They're within sight of the finishing line, but they're getting a little wobbly.
It's 8.5 minutes remaining. It's a 17-point game.
Now, the Bulldogs have to do this well. They can't afford for Hawthorn to switch the play. You've got to make them kick long, so at least you might get a turnover.
Jonathan Hay Taking his time.
And there it is.
Kicking it long. Grant is approaching from the back. Didn't take the mark. Holland went forward.
Got to get it out. Gee, they were outnumbered him at ground level then. That ball had to come out. Good job there. I think it was young Brown.
The Hawks box looking on. It's been a long time since they've been able to celebrate a win. Hahn not going anywhere. Holland on the up. Crow caught. Back to Holland. Did well. Forces it forward about 50 metres. Harris too strong for Thompson that time. Not sure where to go to. Bandy on Cross. It gets over the back to Cross. Went backwards to Darcy. No confidence in going forward. Here's a turnover. Crow sends it down the ground. 2-on-1 for the Dogs. Harris come over the top. One stayed up. It's Williams. He doesn't miss too many. He doesn't miss that one. He's got 3. He was going to load up the shotgun, but he didn't. He's happy. That is a very important goal. 96 to 119. Now it's 23 points. Now it's 4 goals, Matty.
The Western Bulldogs have been in. I'm quite sure it was, but we see here Ryan Harris needed to come over and just make a bigger puncher. He went for the mark. He didn't even try and punch it. He just needed to clear that ball over to the boundary line, run it out. Instead, he tried to go for the mark. Williams is the only one to hold his feet. Finished with the great goal. You still have to send a shotgun.
No, that was a derringer there. The margin 23 points. I reckon give him one more. And it will be shotgun time. Yeah, he's heating up. He's heating up, folks. There, they get the swagger back.
That was to the cheer squad, I think. He said, I'm just going on the Dillinger.
Oh dear, 7 minutes to go. Margin 23 points. Scott West on the bench for the Bulldogs. One more, and the fat lady will be wobbling. Bateman to Thompson. This could be it, Hawk fans. This could be it. Nathan Thompson, 2 goals tonight to extend the margin to a point shy of 5 goals.
Well, don't you love players when they know what is around them? They're awareness what's happening up the field. And Chance Bateman, he had a look inside there and just beautiful little a check side across the body to Nathan Thompson.
He should kick the goal. Short. One behind. And they will stay alive just.
Now this kick, you have to have something set up. Late in the quarter, you're nearly 4 or 5 goals down. You have to kick the ball down the centre, get numbers to the ball. Don't worry about possession football.
Yep.
This is about distance.
Time on the wing. 4 goals needed in 6.5 minutes. And Gilby heeding Tony Shaw's advice, kicks long, nearly a turnover. The bouncing Port and Eagleton. Can he get it on? Well, not a good handball for Ray. Hargrave flicks it out to Farron Ray. Now they can look to run. A chain of handballs. Oh, McMahon, well done. That was clever. Here they go. Eagleton laying it off for Hargrave. Get it on quickly, boys. Here's Farron Ray. Now McMahon. Well, he's going to be caught from behind. Dumped. Gets it onto Street. Takes on Clark. Oh, good handball. Cross. Could kick a goal.
There's the handball from Peter Street. It's a ripper.
Oh, boy, there's still a pulse. It may not be conventional, but they say it doesn't matter. And Cross, well, he's crossed now. He's off. Wester back on. Rawlings back on. A goal to the Bulldogs.
Well, Rawlings is going back into the fence. Gee, Cross has just kicked the goal. Lead the bloke on. I reckon he's, just on it. But what about the handball from Peter Street? Just slapped it on. Went about 25 metres to Cross into space, and a good finish. Had a good game, Daniel Cross.
He's had 28
possessions.
Touches, yeah.
And 1 goal. He's got a bit of height about him too, so he's got some, he'd be probably 5'11", 6 foot.
Personal best for him. Margin 3 goals. Scott West back on the ground. What can he do? Handball up the middle. McMahon, here they go again, the Bulldogs. They're running. They can sense the time clock as Burst launches a long one. Darcy with Hay. Hay got front spot. Clark crumbing. Eagleton trying to pickpocket him. Ball up, 30 metres out for the Bulldogs' goal.
Just checked out Daniel Cross's height in the old at 6'2.5".
Gee whiz.
Not bad for a bloke who runs fairly well.
And Rawlings has gone back on the ground defensively on the Thompson.
Everett and Darcy, here's Hodge. He got it to Clark, he clears. Scott West going back. Bateman arriving, burst. Everybody misses it, except for the skipper, Grant, who backs himself. Kicks it along with the left. Eagleton can get there. Oh, big leap. Hodge is down in front. Hodge could be in trouble, but we have another ball up. We're inside, 5 minutes remaining. Hodge goes back. Here comes Graham and crunches it. Free kick to Hawthorn. Spider Everett pushing and shoving. Hodge says, don't worry about it, we've got the ball. And Luke Hodge gets the kick. It's an 18-point game. The Hawks have led from start to the almost finish.
Not done with yet, though, is it? It's a long losing streak. Sunday, May 16, the last time they sang the club song. There's been one wet winter since then. Smith towards Beaumont. Oh, bubbles the marking attempt. Now, where's he going to go? Okay, good vision. Campbell Brown can chew up 20 or so seconds. And they're precious seconds now. Down to 4 minutes to go. 3 goals they're hanging on by. Short ball. And now Trent Crowe. Bulldogs have got to man up. Otherwise, Hawthorn can continue to run it down. Crowe chews up 15 seconds, goes to Brown. He can wind more time off the clock.
No excuses now. There should be not one loose man the way that they've kicked the ball 3 times. You've got to get on the back.
Now, is the door open? Not quite. Joel Smith running away. Long one. Spider in front. Couldn't get it. Barron Ray or Chris Grant to run onto it. The Bulldogs to try and counter-attack from deep in their defensive zone. Loose men on half-back. Hargrave, but time is ticking by. Hargrave stabs at it. Finds Bandy. Down to 3:10 to go. 3 goals in 3 minutes. The target. Harrison at centre half-back. Time to be long and direct, boys. He goes short. They'll maintain possession. Now they can go. McMahon with a thumping kick. Robbins has 5 to beat. He's got it! Oh, boy! If he kicks straight, the task will be 2 goals in 2 minutes to affect the third draw in 10 years between these two. But first, Matthew Robbins has to kick straight.
Well, it happened once before in the Hawthorn spotlight. Both back in here, they've gone to market. Oh, just like straight over the top of them. They both missed it, and Robbins is the one to judge it the best.
Matthew Robbins to keep alive the Bulldog hopes. If he misses, they'll have none. The kick is a goal. 2 goals the difference on Fox Footy.
Well, they are still alive. They've got to do it very quickly. And let's have a look at the ruck contest, this next ruck contest.
Ian Dicker, how are you feeling now? Where's Don Scott? He's looking for him.
A little bit nervous, of course, Ian, but he always looks like that. But just a long kick. Jordan McMahon had a good night, Jordan McMahon. Some of the younger players for the Bulldogs have been good, but you're right, Matty. They all misjudged it, all went for the mark, and Matty Robbins marked it off his nose. But this is an important ruck contest. Peter Street, I think, Peter, and Darcy's in there too as a ruck rover.
Yep.
So you've got Darcy and Street at this centre bounce. This ball has to go forward with momentum.
There's no time for errors, is there? They've got to do everything right.
Long and straight.
Yep. 16-12 to 19-6. It is 2 goals in just over 2 minutes. It is Mitchell, bundled out of the way by Darcy. Cross. Going nowhere, but the clock will continue to run down.
That's where I think you have to learn from great sides. Brisbane Lions are a side who just don't want to give these ball-ups. They will keep knocking the ball on, knock it in the space. You can't afford it now because you've just wasted 25 seconds.
Not much Peter Road can do from here. Streak with Everett. Everett winning it. Harrison not going anywhere. Hawks will be happy with this. They will close it down. Spider continues to antagonise Donald McDonald. Second game as a senior coach. 90 seconds away from a win. Bateman spills it. Beaumont Hooks it back, clever kick. Reese has got to beat West. West missed it. Can go back and he does. To Rawlings. What can the Dogs do? Darcy, too tall. Play a loose wide. He can't see him. Now he does. McMahon. Eagleson runs for him. Go McMahon. Hits Murphy. He's got it. A minute to go. They need 2 goals.
Don't waste time, son. He's kicked 3 goals, 1 tonight. 16 goals, 7 for the year.
Clock continues to go down. Now the runners are heading out. The Bulldogs runners just headed out. He'll be saying, come on, hurry up. We're inside the last minute. Murphy's got to kick it. To give the Dogs a sniff. Took his time. Cannot believe it. Neither can he. Inside the last 30 seconds, the Hawks should do it from here.
They've already lost 3 matches by less than 2 goals this year, the Bulldogs. You fancy they're about to go down in another heartbreaker. The Hawks hang on to the football, and the last chance for the Bulldogs has gone begging. Donald McDonald is going to lead Hawthorn to victory in just his 2nd game. The losing streak is going to end. Brown, long to the wing. Grant, big leap. Holland. The losing days are over. A week shy of 3 months, but finally the drought breaks. Hawthorn have won their 3rd game for the year. And it's more relief than jubilation. 19-6 to 16-13. Let's go down to Glen Manton.
Simon, the winning feeling, do you still remember it?
Yeah, it's been a little while. I think it's been about 10 weeks, man. So, it's a great feeling. I mean, the Bullies were good all day, but it's a great feeling.
What will this win mean for the Hawthorn Football Club, Donald McDonald, the playing group? What does it really mean?
Look, it's been pretty tough for us the last 10 weeks and gives us some real confidence going into the last 3 games of the year. Hopefully get another 1 or 2 wins.
Mate, I'm not going to hold you up anymore. Go and celebrate with